Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to a brand new live stream. Today, I'm going to be talking about 2024 movies. It was a really awesome year for movies, but specifically, I'm going to start off with some, during the end of the year, it was New Year's Eve specifically, where I was like, you know what? I'm going to just like cram in a bunch of last minute movies via streaming because a lot of them just hit streaming like within the last couple of weeks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start streaming. And I watched a bunch of those. And then in the last couple of days, I got Netflix because Netflix just released the new Wallace and Gromit movie, which actually came out last year, was released this year on Netflix. But I'm going to add that to the list. That's going to be really awesome and cool. And then what was the other thing? So I watched the other couple of Netflix movies as well, where I was like, oh, okay. But before I get to there, let me just pull up my letterbox just in case. My letterbox. So I can pull it up if I need it. Give me a second. I should have pulled it up earlier, but it just reminded me. It's like, oh, hang on, let me pull it up. Okay, there we go. I got it. It's there. I'll pull it up over here. Let's see. Share screen. Is it share screen? I think so. Share screen. Let's see. Anything? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to pull up my ranking from Letterboxd to make sure it's just ready. It's ready if I need it. It's ready. Okay, go back. Go back to where it all started with toys. Okay, so there's the list. It's up there. Perfect. Wonderful. I'll jump back to that when I need to, but for now, we're just going to continue stream. So, on New Year's Eve, I caught up with some movies, and here's the list of them. So, I caught up with The Juror Number 2, In Violent Nature, Late Night with the Devil, Conclave, and Oddity. So, I watched those all on New Year's Eve, so I'll start with there. So, Juror Number 2 was a pleasant surprise. It's the last Clint Eastwood movie. Finalized list. Captain Iron Dog is in the chat. Finalized list. Final for now. I'm still trying to catch up on 2024 movies, and I'll still keep adding them. Because today I just watched 2 more 2024 movies. But we'll get to that. Have no idea if I'm frozen or not, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going just in case I'm still recording. So, Juror Number 2, starring Nicholas Hoult. I was going to say America's Sweetheart, but he's not from America. He's like British or something. Anyway, he was good in it. This is the one that was infamously thrown to streaming and thrown into 10 theaters by Zaslav because he's like, we gave Clint Eastwood too much leeway over the years. We don't give a shit anymore. We're going to just quietly release this movie. So I was like, oh, at some point I got to watch it. So I rented it on the Vudu, which is now called Fandango at home, I believe. So I watched The Juror Number 2 there, and it was good. It was good. And full spoilers, so this is what the story's about. It's about this guy, Nicholas Hoult. He thinks he hits a deer, and he checks everywhere. There's no deer, but there's like damage to his car. He's like, I don't know, whatever. So then like a year later, he gets called in for jury duty, and it turns out like, oh, it wasn't a deer. It was a person. And now he's in the court case for this person who's going to who's being blamed for killing the girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God. Turns out, oh yeah, by the way, the girlfriend is played by Clint Eastwood's daughter. What the hell? That's weird. I'm going to put you in my movie where you're the girl who gets run over. Weird, right? And then, you know what's so funny too? And it's going to come in later because I also watched another movie. But as I was watching Juror Number 2, the actress, the wife of Nicholas Hoult, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, she looks familiar. I've seen her. Like, I've edited something with her in it. I couldn't remember. At first I thought maybe it was Booksmart. It wasn't Booksmart. It turns out the wife is the girl from Everybody Wants Some, which is I've been using for my latest horror trailer. Haven't touched it in months, but she's in it. And I was like, oh, damn, that's her. So she's in this movie. And then, oh, God, I forgot her name. Tony Collette, right? The Hereditary girls in this. And that one dude. The one dude's in this. The dude from Birds of Prey. I think he's in Birds of Prey. Yeah, he plays like the defending attorney of the court case. But it was so cool. Like, when I was watching Juror Number 2, because I'm like, where's this going to go? And it was fun to watch a movie where I had no idea where it was going to go. Because Usually I can watch a movie. All right, you get the gist. You know where it's gonna lead. But I'm like, where is this gonna go? How is this court case gonna end? How is it gonna end? How is this gonna wrap up? Is any justice gonna be found? And it turns out, not really, because at the end, they all vote guilty and get the guy sent to jail. Oh, even that guy was somebody. The guy was somebody. I forgot what the hell he was, but he was somebody too. I looked it up. Hang on. Do I have my wiki up? Hang on. Pull it up, Jamie. Juror number 2. Because the husband was somebody. And it was like somebody's from a movie I watched fairly recently. Juror number 2. Who was the husband? I'm trying to remember. Was it on top? There it is. Oh my god, it is on top. What the heck? Okay, who's the husband? Who's the husband? Darn it. So anyway, as that loads, I like that what the final line of the movie was basically like, maybe sometimes there is injustice, like, whatever. And then Nicholas Hoult gets up from the bench, and you know what's kind of interesting too, and I think that helped him for the role. So recently, I discovered this YouTube channel, Brittany Broski, and she has like, welcome to the Justice Court. Welcome to my kingdom. And it's all like an interview. It's a fun interview show where they don't really talk about like the business or anything. They just talk about like silly shit. And Nicholas Hoult was on there, and he admitted that he had done like Nosferatu, and then he did The Order, and then he did a screen test for Superman, and then he did the Juror number 2, and he was like completely lost. Like he didn't know if he was doing it right. And I was like, that kind of works for the movie. Because as I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, he kind of seems like confused or like not really there. And I'm like, he really wasn't. He was sort of like having trouble with the movie. I'm like, that's neat. That's cool. He used it to his advantage because it was pretty perfect. It worked for the movie. And also that guy in the movie, one of the jurors was from Black Dynamite. And it's funny too, because there's similar lines in the movie. So in Black Dynamite, he's the guy who says, but Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. And then in the Juror number 2, he's the guy who says, man, they're bringing drugs to our community. And I was like, that's hilarious. I love that. 4 Mike Wirt claps. It was great. So it has like that No Country ending, right? It doesn't go full, it doesn't go full hell or high water where it's like both of them at the standstill with guns drawn on each other. No, it goes full No Country where they talk about the movie, right? They're like, well, like whatever. And like Nicholas Hoult gets up, and then Toni Collette gets elected as the new district attorney, and she knows the truth now because she actually put effort into her job and actually paid attention, and she's thinking about it, and she's like, all right, fine. And it ends with the baby being born, the car being sold, and Toni Collette going to the door. And you're like, oh, is she gonna start shit with this Nicholas Hoult? And by the way, Nicholas Hoult is up to something. He's up to something. And you know what's so funny? Like he's been in all these like movies that were like, they're okay, like minor hit, flop. With the Superman though, he's up to something. I think he's gonna become a bigger star than he is, because he is a good star. He's like main roster talent, but he needs to get up there. He needs to finish the story. He needs to go up to the main roster. He needs to win the Royal Rumble with Superman. He needs to get up there. He's gonna go to WrestleMania someday. But right now he's being a jabron with like doing movies like Renfield and shit like that. He's gonna hit the main tier. He's gonna be a superstar someday. I believe in him. I believe in the Nicholas Hoult. So there's that. So that was Juror number 2. I give that a heart and 5 stars, I believe. Did I? I don't know. Let's go to my ranking. Oh, it's not going to show up in my list. Damn. But anyway, I give it 5 stars and a heart. And then after that, I watched In a Violent Nature. Oh my God, In a Violent Nature. I fucking loved it from like the first like 5 to 12 minutes. Because I think the 12 minutes, it's like the first kill. But like, it's so funny. It is literally the point of view of a Jason Voorhees type character. I think his name's like Johnny, but that doesn't matter. He's, for all intents and purposes, this is a fucking Jason Voorhees movie. So I'm the reason why I'm laughing. I just saw Captain Underdogs. He's on his road to WrestleMania for sure. Nicholas Holt is on his way to WrestleMania. He's working up there. He's getting there. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting there. Like with fucking Nosferatu, that was like, oh my god, he's coming. And then the Superman trailer where he's like with his little gun, he's doing something. Nicholas Holt is up to something. Anyway, In a Violent Nature, fucking awesome. I loved how in the beginning it was like, hey, isn't this where all the massacre happened and all those people died years ago? I don't know. I thought that was just a local legend. Hey, don't touch that. You think it's gold? I don't know. Why is it here? I don't know. It must be here for something. And then they take the locket away. And then almost immediately after they walk away, the ground starts moving and like bubbling up. And like it takes like 3 minutes. But the Jason Voorhees comes out of the ground and he's like, he gets up and he's like covered in dirt. He got up out of the ground and he just starts walking. And he's walking through the woods and you tell some storytelling with some visuals, right? He's walking through the woods. He sees this dead animal, and the dead animal got caught in an animal trap. And then you see, like, throughout the woods, there's tons of animal traps. So he keeps on walking, and it looks like he's walking to his old house, or at least it's led to believe that, right? So he walks to this house, and it's funny because all the dialogue in this movie is so bland and cheesy and straightforward. It doesn't sound realistic, but it works to the advantage of the movie because they're like, I told you not to have these traps in the woods, and now you're going to get caught in them if you do that. We could have, people who are hiking in these woods now because we're getting more people around here are going to get caught in that. He says, F you, Sheriff, get out of here. It is so perfect. It is exactly like those fucking Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th movies. The dialogue is so simple and stupid. And then Jason gets to the guy because he thinks this guy stole the locket because there's a little locket in the house. And then you see a little flashback where you find out, oh, the locket belonged to Jason's mom, right? He's like, oh, fuck. So that's why he got up, because that locket was there to keep him in his gravesite. So then it's funny, too, because then he starts chasing this guy who has all the traps in the woods, right? And it's funny, too, because the guy's like running like that meme, like, oh, no, stop. No, stop it. Leave me alone. What are you? And then he gets caught in his own little animal trap, right? On his own. Jason doesn't do anything because it's so funny because he's just like walking. You're looking through the point of view of him. So imagine this is the movie. Like, so you're just like watching Jason's back of his head as he's walking through the movie. Oh my God. It's beautiful. So by the end of the 12 minutes, because I think that's when I tweeted or whatever, I'm like, 12 minutes in, I love this movie. So 12 minutes in, he's killed the guy and he thinks he's got the locket, right? But he finds out the locket was just the guy's, because on the guy has a hat that says like one bad motherfucker. So he goes back to the house to see the locket and it says one bad motherfucker. So then the rest of the movie is like this, right? So they have the famous, like, fire, campfire tale, like, oh, this was Johnny and he did this and this is what happened 10, 20 years ago. And this is the story of Johnny. And he does like the greatest hit kills. Like he puts the thing around the tree to kill the guy with the headphones. And then he carries the guy's body to the ranger station. And when he gets to the ranger station, he puts on the what do you call it? The firefighter mask. And it looks like a deep sea diver mask. And it's perfect. The kills are wonderful. He drowns one person and then he puts a hook through the girl's head and then pulls her head through her stomach or whatever. Perfect. My only qualm with In a Violent Nature, hold on. I think I got that ASMR thing going. Give me a second. My only qualm with In a Violent Nature is that when he kills the ranger, it doesn't feel like a Jason kill. It feels like it doesn't feel right. So the scene is the ranger, like another part I like. So Jason's like walking up to the ranger station and you clearly hear the ranger saying, 10 years ago, me and my father put him up in his grave. You have to return the locket. So you guys run away. I'm gonna hold them off. So then, Jason knocks him out, like breaks his neck or whatever, so he's still alive, but he can't do anything, right? Breaks his back or something. So he drags him to like the log cutting thing, and it goes on like forever. Like what Jason would have done was probably just like, pull out the head and just like smash him on the ground. This one is like he drags him to the wood cutting thing. He puts a piece of wood in there. The wood cuts the thing just so the audience knows what's going on. And then he drags the guy's hand over to it and then cuts off his hand and then cuts off his head. That's like the low point. That's the part I didn't like because I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Jason kill. It didn't feel like anything I've seen before. It felt like, what are we doing here? We're adding 5 more minutes to the runtime. It didn't feel right. And I didn't like it. And I thought it was stupid. That's the only thing I thought was stupid. But I thought the rest of the movie was genius. A different way to look at it. Like, ooh, this is a different way. And it also reminded me of another movie that's coming up on this list where I'm like, ooh, they kind of put a little twist on it. They put a little twist on the thing. So I liked seeing the whole movie from the point of view of the killer. And I like all the silly shit, like whenever the people are thinking they're being secretive or whispering. Because I love the part when the girlfriend and her friend are in the woods and are like, I really care about you very much, and I don't want anything happening to you. What I'm going to do is cause a distraction, and I want you to run away, and I want you to do this and be prepared, all right? And like they're clearly like the whispering is so loud, Jason can hear it, and he's like, and I'm cracking up the whole time because they think they're being quiet, but it's so loud. It's great because in those movies, you always see the scene where it's like, and it's like dun 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 dun, and they're like, okay, you're gonna run, and it's like all dramatic. But in this, it's almost like a fucking megaphone, and Jason can clearly hear them talking and planning against him, and he's like, I'm not dumb, I know what you guys are doing. So like almost immediately when the guy tries to do the distraction, he like kills the guy, and then I love it when it switches to the girl. Because it happens to all these girls in these horror movies where they're just running in the woods and they're slowly going crazy all by themselves, right? Oh yeah, by the way, she left the locket. So that before I leave any story points out, she leaves the locket, right? She's like, okay, I'm out of here. So she's like running through the woods and does the crazy thing, and then the movie ends with like a 5 to 10 minute speech from someone we've never seen it before, and like, sometimes animals are just the force of nature and blah 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 and this and that. It goes on forever. 3 days long, and then it ends like Halloween because it cuts to like all the places we've seen in the movie, and we're like, oh, he's still out there. And I heard word that there's going to be In a Violent Nature 2, and I kind of hope it's not the same Johnny character. I kind of hope that we follow someone like a Harry Warden, where they're like schizophrenic, where they switch between different killers, you know what I mean? Like, you get to see like when he switches into the Harry Warden and when he's the regular guy. I think that would be interesting. Just follow different slashers instead of following the same Johnny Jason character. Switch it up and do it more interesting, where you just follow a different character from a different like horror movie. You know what I mean? Like a Harry Warden who's schizophrenic and jumps between 2 characters, or you do something like you follow a character from Scream where it's like 2 different guys and you just follow from their point of view and see how they run around the house. I think that would be funnier. You get to see the ghost face guy like on the phone, and then you just follow him through the house, and they just show how stupid everyone is. I think that would be wonderful, but they got to do that for the next one, because if they just do Johnny again, I feel like they're gonna tie themselves in the corner like they did with like Halloween, where it's like, oh, you did Michael Myers twice, now you got to stick with Michael Myers instead of doing like Halloween 1 where it's Michael Myers, and Halloween 2 it's like all the masks. And like they do it in an anthology series of different slasher movies, and I think that would be really cool. They just got to play the cards right. But anyway, In a Violent Nature, 5 stars and a heart. That's what I give it. 5 stars and a heart. I love it. It was great. It was fun. It was definitely like a simple Jason Voorhees movie I've been wanting to see, and it was just, if you like those movies, you should like this movie. But I do see people saying that they were bored. I kind of understand that. Like, if you're not into, because here's the thing, like, you really have to be a fan of Jason, right? Because all those movies are so the same and like, kind of boring themselves. So if you don't like Friday the 13th that much, or you don't really like boring slashers or just like dull everyday slashers, you're probably not going to like In the Violent Nature, because it's already a thin plot and they made it even thinner. But I feel like it's a great experiment to try, just to see a whole movie from the point of view of the killer, which is fun. But 5 stars and a heart. And it's for those people who love Friday the 13th, because I love Friday the 13th. I came to realize that after watching the Nightmare on Elm Street movies recently, because I did that music video Espresso. I watched all the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, Freddy's not really my guy, but like fucking Jason and Michael, those are my guys. I like those guys. I think it's scarier. But anyway, moving on. So after In a Violent Nature, I watched Late Night with the Devil. Late Night with the Devil was fantastic. It was good. And it kind of made me laugh how many people lost their shit about the AI. I remember seeing so many people being like, oh my God, they used AI. Oh, boycott the movie, boycott the actors, boycott everybody. Don't see this movie. Don't support this, whatever. And fucking watching the movie, it's like a tiny billionth of a percentage of this movie, and it's insane. It's insane. And it's like, I understand because it's like a lower budget movie. Sometimes you can't do things, right. So they're like, yeah, we do it quicker. It's just, try AI. Fuck it. We're just doing like the logo and the little interstitials. It's like 1/1000th of a percentage of this fucking movie. And this movie is probably already a low budget as it is, because this movie opens up with fucking like 20 of those studio credits. You know how a movie opens and it's like Universal Studios, Sony Pictures. But this one, it was like Graveyard Pictures, Shudder, Moonlight, Sundance, and it's like fucking 30 title cards of different studios. It almost seemed like a joke. It almost seemed like a Naked Gun joke where it just kept coming up. I was like, oh my God, how many people produced this movie? But for those who don't know, Late Night with the Devil is about this guy who hosts a TV show. He's like a Jay Leno, Johnny Carson kind of guy. And he's hosting the show, and he slowly became famous, and then his ratings started to drop. And his wife died of cancer, and he's been rumored that he's kind of, rubbing elbows with some cult people to make him, more famous or whatnot. But it's all like, they don't know all the facts or whatnot, but it's like, it's rumored that he kind of hangs out with these people at this compound or whatever. And this week is Sweeps Week, and this is the recording of the show from the Halloween Sweeps Week from 1977. So watch this show. And meanwhile, that's all narrated by Michael Ironside, Sam Fisher himself from Splinter Cell. And it's like, this guy had a late night TV show, and he did this and he did that. So we watched the show, and there's some behind the scenes footage. They should have just, I don't know. It didn't feel like behind the scenes footage. It just felt like a movie during those parts. But I don't know. I guess they didn't have a right. They wanted to do one thing and another thing, and they kind of met in the middle. And I'll let it slide. But to me, the behind the scenes footage did not feel like behind the scenes footage. It just felt like it became a real movie. And all the real movie behind the scenes footage happens during the commercial breaks. So you'll see him go on stage and he does his shtick, and then they go to commercial break and it goes to behind the scenes footage, and it's like a camera crew following the night of the Halloween show. But it was a good movie. What else? What do we talk about? So like, he gets the girl on the show, and apparently she was part of a cult, and it's been rumored that she's like possessed by a demon. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do that. That's great for Sweeps Week, right? And meanwhile, there's like all this weird shit happening throughout the show. There was like a guy who, like a Criswell, he's like, let me read your mind. And it turns out he can actually read minds, but this fucking demon sort of like fucked with him and made him explode. But it's all like, hush, hush, don't tell anybody that he exploded on the way to the hospital. But then like the starts ruining, like, oh my God, it's happening. And then the girl gets on the show and they're like, we're going to talk to the demon on the show. So they strap her down and they do the thing. And it's crazy. It's like, she's like possessed and floats off on the ground. And it's like, why'd you do it, Johnny? Or whatever his name is. Why'd you do it? Why'd you do that? And he's like, didn't that sound like my wife? Oh my gosh. And then there's a skeptic on the show, because they want to have like both sides. So the skeptic's like, clearly it was hypnotation, hypnotize. I'm going to do it too. So they do this weird ass segment where everyone was hypnotized, and they go back to the tape, and it turns out that was fake. Like, everyone was hypnotized, and like, oh my God, that didn't really happen. But let's go to the tape of the girl who was possessed. And it turns out all that stuff's on tape. And then this is when like the whole thing starts getting crazy. Like, the demon wakes up in the girl, and she starts throwing people around. She like breaks the neck of the, what do you call it? The Ed O'Neill, like the co-host, like the Andy Richter. She like breaks his neck, and then she kills the dude. Like, I think she explodes him with like electricity. Her head busts open, and then she like kills her doctor with like a necklace I believe, if I recall correctly. And then it cuts to the host's mind. We see what's in his mind. We see flashbacks. We see visions of what happened. And apparently, like, he signed over and made a deal, like sort of a Faustian deal with the devil, or the devil, the studio heads. And he had to give up his wife, and she had cancer, and she died. And at the end of this vision, she's like, please, you have to kill me. You have to kill me. And he takes a knife and stabs her. And then we cut to the studio, and we see that all the people died. Like I told you, broken neck, girl got killed. And he has the dagger, and it turns out he killed the freaking girl who was possessed. And then this, I don't know how, but like the camera starts going back, and I'm like, ah. So good movie overall, but like it doesn't commit to the aesthetic, because it's all supposed to be like found footage, where it's like the recording of the night, but they keep cutting to the behind the scenes footage, and then at the end when it does that camera move, and there was like no epilogue. I actually for some reason, I don't know why, I was led to believe, because with that whole intro, you're like you feel like you're watching a documentary, right? So with that intro with Michael Ironside, I fully expected Michael Ironside to come back at the end to explain what the hell happened, and he didn't, and I was like, oh, no Michael Ironside. All right, I guess. But overall, good. I give it. I don't know what I gave it. I think I gave it 4 stars, probably 5. 5 stars in the heart. 5 stars in the heart. Oh my gosh! And then I watched Conclave. So let's go to Conclave. So we go to Conclave, right? Conclave is the new movie starring Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, and they all work for the church, right? They're all, I think they're all priests or fathers or whatnot. They're all like high officials. So, opening scene, the setting off, the jumping off point. The Pope has died, and Ralph Fiennes is like the guy who's in charge. He's not the new Pope. He could be the new Pope, but right now he's like the top guy in charge. And then like John Lithgow's there, and John Lithgow's like, "Don't worry, I'll help you out. I'll do this because you're in mourning, and I have the things all set already." Blah blah blah. And it's like a bit suspicious, because why is John Lithgow already, right? And then we got Stanley Tucci. Everyone wants, the good people want Stanley Tucci in, because he's like more of a liberal Pope. He's not as hard edged, and he's like open to ideas. But he's like, I don't want to be Pope. I don't want to be Pope, but I guess I could be Pope. And then so they have to hold our conclave, where they have all the popes and fathers or whatever, whoever is eligible to become a pope comes to the church, right? And they call them all in, and then there's one guy who's not on the list, and they're like, hey, who's this one guy? Who's this one guy? So they're like, we haven't heard of him, but there is records that the previous pope who just died set this dude up, like he approved of him. He set him up in Afghanistan and in the Congo. So this guy has been in like dangerous parts of the world. He is a father, but he's been like a secret father, because if they found out about him in these dangerous places, they would have killed him. So this guy's eligible for Pope, and he's like a Mexican, and they're like, all right, you're good. You can come in, right? So then Ralph Fiennes is in charge, and he has some like gophers out there. So like right before they shut the doors, one of these other priests or fathers who's not eligible for Pope, he's like a normal guy, and he comes in and he says, John Lithgow is up to something. He's up to something. You have to know this. You have to know John Lithgow's up to something. And they're like, okay. Because, that's why he's up to something. Because the Pope was going to release him. The Pope said he was going to fire him, and then the Pope died, and then he's still in there. You have to figure out why he's in there. And Ralph Fiennes is like, okay, I'll figure it out. So they lock up the doors. They're all in there, and we got all these guys. We have the huge Italian guy who's like, for 60 years, we need to go back, and then we got to do this, we got to do that. And then we got like another version of like, so like way, so if like the Italian guy is bad, the other dude like from like Congo is bad too, because he's like he wants to go back to the old ways, he wants to do these things. And then you got like Stanley Tucci, and then you got Ralph Fiennes, Mexican guy, and those are like the top tier guys. Oh yeah, John Lithgow. So all these guys are like the top tier, like these are guys are going to get the votes. So they start having an election, and then like weird things happen. At one of the nights, there's an argument with a woman in one of the rooms. And Ray Fiennes overhears it. He's like, what the hell's that? And he opens up the room and he sees the woman run down the hallway. And then the next day, freaking, there's an argument between one of the nuns and the guy from the Congo, the black guy. So Ray Fiennes tried to figure this out. Turns out that this nun had a kid with the guy 30 years ago, and she was sent there last minute by John Lithgow. And it's like, oh, we got some story threads going on here. What the hell's going on, right? So Ray Fiennes goes to tell the guy, and the guy's like, I'm sorry, it was 30 years ago. I was a different guy. It's not my fault. It's not me. And then Ray Fiennes is like, no matter what happens, you may never be Pope. So he's out of the running. He's out of the voting thing. So then they're trying to do another vote. And since Ray Fiennes is like cracking down and doing good things, like Ray Fiennes is getting more votes. And then the Mexican guy accidentally spills the beans like, hey, I've been voting for you, Ray Fiennes. I think you're a cool guy. And then Ray Fiennes is like, I don't want your vote. And he says, whether you want my vote or not, you have it. You have my vote. So then he's really trying to figure out, Ray Fiennes is like, what the frick is going on around here? What's going on? What's with this John Lithgow character? Why did the Pope want him out of here? Why did he bring in this nun last minute? So then they have to break the seal, because after the Pope died, they sealed up his room and put like a little wafer cracker there. So if anyone gets in there, you could tell they broke in. So Ray Fiennes needs to figure this out because something's going on, goddammit. So he goes in there, he breaks the seal, he goes in there. He's looking around the room for any information. He finds it. It was hidden in the Pope's bed, like behind his bed rest or whatever. There's documents. And it shows that John Lithgow was buying his votes to become the new Pope, and it's been all off the record. And it's like, oh shit, John Lithgow's up to something. Oh my God. So like he goes to confide in Stanley Tucci, right? And Stanley Tucci's like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. No. Just forget it. Because if you get rid of John Lithgow, then it's up to the Italian guy that we don't like. And we don't want the Italian guy to win. And meanwhile, freaking Stanley Tucci's been losing votes, right? So he's like, it's the lesser of evils. We have to do this. And then Ray Fiennes is like, that's why you're not ready to be Pope. You're not ready to stand for the right. He's like, you're not prepared to fight. You're, stand up for what's right. So fucking Ray Fiennes goes to make copies, and then he runs into Isabella Rossini because earlier in the movie, because Isabella Rossini is trying to protect the nuns, but he's like, listen, I had a moment of weakness before the Pope died, and I wanted to retire, but the Pope wouldn't let me to retire. And now that the Pope is dead and I'm in charge, I now understand why he wanted me in charge, because he wanted me to be here to make sure all this happened. So he told Isabella Rossini this, the girl from Blue Velvet. So Blue Velvet comes in to help him too. She's like, you know what? You need more copies? We're going to make all the copies. So she makes all the copies of the fucking documents that were in the bed. And they send it out, right? And it's so good because like John Lithgow is trying to do his John Lithgow thing where he's like the nice guy. He's like, oh, why would I do this? Why would, how dare you listen to this, that I'm trying to buy votes? And then the freaking kicker was Isabella Rossini comes in and says like, hey, you're the guy who got rid of the other dude to make sure that you got more votes because you set him up by sending the nun. You knew all about this. You're just as crooked and you shouldn't be Pope either. So it's like, shit, right? So they go into do like a service, or like I think they're doing another vote, I believe, or something like that. And then a fucking explosion happens because guess what? Since they've been locked up in there, they had no idea that there's been fucking terrorist attacks around Paris or Rome or wherever the fuck they are. I forget what movie they're, wherever they are. So anyway, an explosion goes off and they're like, oh shit, we got terrorists. This world's falling apart while we're in here. And then the Italian guy's like, we need to go back to the old ways. We need to go to war. We need to stop this. We need to do this. We need to bring back the church. And he's like really trying to rival up because everyone's like, hurrah. And then the quiet Mexican stands up and says, what do you know of war? You have never been to war. I've worked in Congo and Afghanistan. I've seen victims on both sides. And that we're all the same at the end. And he does like this cool speech. I can't remember. But basically, He's like, he fucking gives his Linus speech from, like, Charlie Brown, right? He says, like, yep, we're all one, we're great. We can't go to war because then you cut out other people's, like, no, shit. And there's a whole storyline that I just forgot until just now. So when they found out that guy was not on a list, Ray Fiennes was like, hey, look up this guy. See if he's on the up and up. This Mexican guy. See if he's on the up and up. So they're like, he's on the up and up, but he was supposed to have a medical procedure and the Pope was going to pay for it. All right, find out what this medical procedure was. Right? And it's slowly throughout the movie this is happening. We're like, okay, find out what the medical procedure was. Turns out he didn't go to the medical procedure. He didn't do it. He ended up not going. So like, okay, what is this medical procedure? So that's like the mystery. Like, that's the underlying mystery. So we get to the end after the Linus speech, right? Fucking Mexican guy gets all the votes. He's been selected Pope. He seems best fit for it because out of all the guys there, he's like the less fucking crooked one, right? So Ray Fiennes comes to him and he says, hey, just private talk, because you're going to be the most famous person in the entire world within 45 minutes, because we're going to announce it. Just tell me what that medical procedure was so we could, like, so I know about it and we can, cover it up. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to spoil it because it's fucking, like, rad. I know I said full spoilers, but, like, I think that's a good nugget. I think that's a good way to stop right there. Because this movie's good. Conclave's fucking good. And the reason why I wanted to see it, I'm going to explain the Captain Iron Dog. Yep, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it because I gave you enough. I think I gave you enough clues and enough shit for this movie because it's, like, really fucking good. Conclave. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to see Conclave, because when it first came out, it came out like during Venom weekend or some shit or whatever. And I remember seeing all these old people come out, and then within a couple of hours, someone made an edit. Because someone, like, hey, can you make an edit to using It's a Knife by Charlie XCX and Adriana? Because someone make an edit using this with Conclave. And the lyrics made me laugh because they were showing all these clips and like, it's a knife when they, say your old friends are like the old friends, or you want to get stabbed in the back and they say your friends are fake, and all the lyrics match. I'm like, hey, this seems funny. So after watching the movie and watching that little edit, I was like, that's perfect. That is perfect. That little, it's a knife when the old friends say, it's like the old friends. It's perfect. It perfectly goes with Conclave. I think I'm going to buy this movie. I'm like, when it comes on home video, this is a purchase. Like, Juror Number 2 is not a purchase. It's a recommend though. In the Violent Nature purchase. I got to find like the Blu-ray of it though, because I can't, because In the Violent Nature look like low quality, like it's supposed to look like old video. So like, you got to get Blu-ray for that because it's going to look like shit on DVD. Late Night with the Devil, I already purchased Blu-ray. Looks perfect. Conclave, I got to get that shit on Blu-ray because when I watched it on digital, the digital compression or whatever made it look so fucking ugly. So I know the Blu-ray's got to fix that up because I've realized there's a huge difference between streaming and Blu-rays and 4Ks. Just an example, just the other day, I was lazy, and so I was going to watch Fall Guy because I have a digital copy of Fall Guy. I started watching, I'm like, let me put my 4K in. The difference between sound quality and picture quality was insane, and I'm like, why is anyone doing streaming? This sucks. Oh yeah, I see Captain Iron Dog. I got you hooked. Yes, watch Conclave. It's so fucking good. Great cast. Wonderful stuff. Okay, so no one texted me. It was just the letterbox thing. But yeah, check out Conclave. It's a Blu-ray purchase for me. It's 5 stars and a heart. Oh, this is another good one coming up. Hang on, let me take a drink because I think I have that ASMR thing going on. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil Conclave. Watch Conclave. It's fucking good. I want to buy the shit. That's like maybe watch like 2 times a year kind of movie. Oddity. Oddity was fantastic. So I believe Oddity was like reviewed on Red Letter Media, so I was aware of it. And then I believe I seen someone else talk about it. Like one of my, it's either Red Letter Media guys or like Jim or Colin or something like that. Someone else saw Oddity, and I was like, oh shit, I should check out Oddity. So Oddity opens up like a great premise. It's a great fucking premise. So there's this woman and a husband, and the husband's a doctor, and he's never home because they just bought this new property in the middle of nowhere. It's like an old fort kind of building. It's in London. It's a nice place, and they're fixing it up, and she's staying out there to fix it up, and it's like in the middle of nowhere. There's no cell reception. She actually has to find a place to call, like, hey, I found a place where I can call. There's no reception up here. So she's fixing up this house. It's not perfect. It's like an old fort. It's like a little, like a property that's like a square and like a little courtyard. So husband's away. He's at work because he works nights and the hospital. So she's in the house and she calls up her sister like, hey, we are connected, blah, 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 this and that. So she goes outside to the car and picks up something like I think she picks up like, I don't know, like a flashlight, maybe a blanket or pillows. Something not too important, but she leaves her phone out there accidentally. So she comes back to the house and shuts the door. Meanwhile, she left the door open when she went outside because she thinks no one's out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. So she goes inside the house, shuts the door, and she hears something outside. It's not a knock or anything, but she hears something outside. And she opens like the little door, like the little hole to see if anyone's there. Because it's an old fort, so there's like a little door that has like a little latch. She fucking opens that up, and there's a guy looking at her through the door hole, and he's got like one like dead eye, like a glass eye, and he's looking at her, and she's like, oh, who are you? What do you want? And he's like, somebody went inside your house. And she's like, there's no one in here. It's just me. He's like, when you went out to the car, someone went inside the house. You need to get out of there. And of course, she don't fucking believe him because he's a crazy looking guy with a beard, glass eye, freaking her out. And she's like, what do you mean someone's in the house? And then she hears like some rattling in the house. And he's like, just, all right, just open the door and like, let me in. And she's like, no, I'm not going to let you in. I'll call the police. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Call the police because someone's in the house. Go ahead, call. Go ahead. I have no problem with that. Call the police. And she's like, I left my cell phone in the car. And she doesn't want to go outside because that creepy ass is out there at the fucking door thing looking at her, And he says, all right, how about this? I'll go get help. So, because I understand you're freaked out because of me. I'll go get help. Just stay safe. Hope maybe no one's out in the house. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. But just I'm going to get help. So he leaves, right? And, oh shit, I just scared myself. So I'm telling the scary story and I just saw movement. Oh my God. So anyway, I think it ends like that first clip. I think I told a little bit too much, but like the clip was supposed to be like a tease, like, is she going to let the guy in? But anyway, that's like the opening. Like that's the thing. That's the premise. Like the girl's there. We jump to a year later. We find out that the wife has died. She had a twin sister. The husband has a girlfriend and has kind of moved on. The house is now fixed up. And allegedly the guy with the glass eye killed her. Allegedly. So, because it opens up, after that it shows the opening scene of that, and then a year later we see the guy with the glass eye. He dies. He gets his head crushed in. And the doctor goes to see the blind sister, the blind twin sister. And the blind twin sister owns like an antique store. And it's funny too, because when he walks inside the door of the shop, the bell goes off. And she says, whatever you do, don't touch anything in here. Everything has a curse on it. The curse is lifted after the purchase. And he kind of giggles like, yeah, sure, right. And he just says, hey, I know you requested this. After he died, I was able to get the glass eye for you. Here's the glass eye. And he's like, what are you looking at there? What was this in your hand? And she's like, this just came in. This is a doorbell from an old hotel in town. And the story goes that whenever this bell rang, the bellboy came to answer it. And then one night, the bellboy went to help somebody and got murdered. And then after he was murdered, whenever this bell rang, he would come and kill the person whoever rang the bell. And since 2 people died ringing the bell, they don't want it anymore. They gave it to me. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. And she's like, I would like to come see the house. come up to the house one of these days just to go up there just to see it. And, not see it, but, to go up there to experience the house. And he says, yeah, sure, fine. Someday you could do that, whatever. But here's the glass eye. I'm out. So he leaves the antique store, and she's like a seer, right? So she could see things like, as she touches an item, she could see past, present, future, whatever kind of stuff. So she gets the glass eye and starts feeling it. And she's like, oh. She gets a vision, and it's so strong. And we cut to like a crate. She goes to the back room and finds this crate, right? So then we cut to the girlfriend and the doctor, right? And the girlfriend's like, I don't like living up here. You're always working nights, and I'm always up here by myself. And this time I want to hang out in the city. I don't like it up here. This sucks. I don't like this arrangement. It's stupid. So as they're having this argument and she's going to stay in the city for the night, the fucking blind sister pulls up in a taxi cab, right? And she says, remember I said that I wanted to come visit? He's like, yeah, you thought that was going to come up. I thought you were going to contact me, right? She's like, all right, fine. I got to go to work. So the doctor goes to work, and he's like, just stay here for a little while, and then you can come to the city. He tells the girlfriend this. So the girlfriend is really awkward with this blind girl, and the blind girl's like, did you have a relationship with him before my sister died? And she's like, no. And then we cut to like a little afterwards, because they think a weird they have a weird conversation, right? But she's trying to leave because she's like, fuck this. I don't like the situation. This is dumb. So the girlfriend's trying to find the car keys to leave, but she can't find the car keys. And we find out what's in the crate. So the blind sister brought this crate to the house, and she told the boyfriend, the husband, before he left, like, hey, this was passed down from generation to generation for the 5th anniversary. And for the 5th anniversary, you're supposed to get wood. So this is a wood statue that we've had in our family for years. And it's like this creepy wood statue. I was like, oh. So this creepy wood thing is like creeping out the girlfriend, right? And the blind girl ends up going to sleep, and the girl calls up the husband and is like, hey, this blind girl said that the one-eyed guy did not kill your sister or your wife. She said that Ivan, your co-worker, killed him or killed the wife. And then she knows that we were dating before, the wife died, and I can't find the fucking car keys. What's going on here? And, he's like, just stay there, right? Just stay there. But she gets freaked out, and she's like, the blind girl's asleep. Phone call ends. So she tries to look for the keys again. No, wait, she doesn't look for the keys. I think she just gets curious about this fucking wood statue, because when she's on the phone call, she's upstairs because that's the only place she can get reception. So when she goes over to the railing to look down at the wood statue, because the wood statue is like looking forward, like, ah. So when she's on the phone with the husband, she looks over because she heard something, and like it's the fucking wood statue going like, ah, looking up at her, and she's like, ah, and she drops the phone, and she goes down there, and it turns out he's still looking forward, right? So she picks up the phone, and then she notices like the back of the head's like a bowling ball, right? And it's got like all these little fucking knickknacks in there. She starts digging them out and seeing like, ooh, this is like weird shit. And then the blind sister's like, put them back. And then she opens up the crate that the wood creature was in, and the fucking car keys in there. So she grabs the car keys. Girlfriend leaves. Right. Girlfriend's out of the situation. She's out of the movie. Blind girl's left alone in the house. And then we have the doctor saying, Ivan, did you tell anyone anything about this? And he's like, oh, no, sir. No, I would never do that. No. I want you to go up there and take care of the blind sister. So Ivan goes up there. Or am I jumping the gun? I might be jumping the gun. I think the husband goes up there because that's right. The husband goes up there to save the girlfriend because he doesn't know the girlfriend left in the car already. So he goes up there, girlfriend's gone. He talks to the blind girl. The blind girl confronts him about murdering the sister, having a relationship with the woman. And he says, how dare you think that? How dare you? And meanwhile, as he's talking to her, he's like lifting up this little trap door thing. And the blind girl walks forward and walks through like the trap door, and she's on the ground, right? And it's like, oh shit, she's on the ground. So then that's when he calls Ivan. Ivan gets in the situation like, hey, take care of this blind girl, right? So Ivan gets up there. He sees the blind girl. She's dying because she's like choking on her blood. She fell through the floor. And the blind girl starts doing this like thing. And she says like, we are connected. And she connects herself to this wood fucking statue guy. And the wood statue guy starts going after Ivan. And Ivan gets like choked out, like to the point where he gets knocked out. And then the girl dies because like, she used all her energy to bring the wood creature to life. So then we cut to Ivan. He wakes up in the hospital, the same hospital that he works at with his doctor, the criminally insane, because he was ranting and raving when he got brought in, like, oh my God, this wood creature is coming after me and trying to kill me. So they think he's crazy and loopy. So the doctor's like, you know what? This works out in my advantage. The blind sister's dead. You're caught. And I'm going to cover my tracks because no one's ever going to suspect that I killed you by releasing one of these patients. So the doctor releases one of the patients. The patient kills the guy. Everything seems to be taken care of. And it's funny, too, because the guy's going home and he calls the girlfriend. The girlfriend's like, you're fucking weird living in that house. 2 people have died in that house. You're fucking weird. So the other part I kind of forgot before this. So after the guy was arrested, Ivan was arrested and, tried to say the wood man burned. So the husband burned the wooden man. So he goes home. So he's all by himself now. Everyone is dead. Just the husband's alive. And he gets this package at the door. He opens up the package and it's the fucking bell. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And he's like looking at the bell and he doesn't believe it. So he goes, ding. Nothing happens. And he's just like laughing. He's like, he can't be real. He rings it again. And then we cut to a wide shot. The fucking bellboy is standing right next to him, about to kill him. Wonderful. 10 stars. All the hearts. I need to purchase this movie. It's fantastic. Oddity fucking ruled. Because it was like a good mystery. And there was another one because I'm like, where's this movie going to go? What's happening? There's not much left in this movie. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's so good. Excellent. There's great photography in this. Wonderful. And it was one of those ones where I'm like, I can't miss anything. I got to rewind this shit. I got to rewind this. Because I was trying to make dinner and I was saying, yeah, it's Oddity. Whatever. Fuck Oddity. But guess what? Oddity is a tight 97 minutes. Perfect. Oh my God. I miss movies when they're 90 minutes because I remember watching this. I was like, oh shit, it's only 90 minutes. I got to rewind it. It's almost over. So I had to rewind the movie, but it was awesome. It was only 90 minutes or 97 minutes. It was good. It was great. So that was my New Year's Eve marathon. I watched all those movies back to back and I was planning to stream here on that night, but my marathon ended at 11:30 and I was like, nah. I wanted to start the stream at 11 o'clock and then end around 12:10 just to do something. But I was like, no, I want to watch 2024 movies because I want to do a stream about 2024 movies. So I believe a day or two later, I watched Strange Darling. And Strange Darling is the infamous movie of the year where the only one who was advertising this fucking movie is Kyle Gallner. Kyle Gallner is the only one telling people to go see this movie because apparently the people that they hired to advertise Strange Darling didn't do their jobs. They're actually being sued. I think they're being sued for $50 million just because they didn't do their fucking job. They didn't do any advertising. They didn't do jack shit. Because poor Kyle Gallner is out there tweeting saying, hey, say Strange Darling. Go watch Strange Darling, please. Anybody, go watch Strange Darling. So it's this movie, Captain Iron Dog. Yep, Strange Darling. And like I brought up earlier, it was interesting to watch a movie from the point of view of a killer. Shit, do I want to spoil this one? Because this one is like a slow burn and is a twist on the whole fucking genre. I guess I'll just set up the opening. So we open up. Oh yeah, this is the movie I kind of joked about too. Because if I was making a movie, you'd have you had 4 ideas for an intro. Like, oh, should I do this for the intro? Should I do that for the intro? Maybe I could do this for the intro. This movie decides, how about we do all the intros? Because, normally you would do, one of the 4, but they do all 4. Because this one opens up with like a flash, like the premise in black and white, and then they have a title crawl, and then they have the girl running, and then they have the car chase, and it's like you gotta choose at least two of the four, but they do all four of them. So it opens up, shot in 35 millimeter, and I'm laughing because I'm like I'm watching it on a fucking DVD I bought from Walmart, so it's like 240p. It's like it doesn't fucking matter if this is shot on film. It just had me laugh. But then it cuts to the title. Oh no, it has the black and white intro where it's like these two people meeting, the guy and the girl, and they're just having a good chat, right? And then it cuts to the thing like in 2017 and 2020 there was a set of serial killings that happened, and this is from the accounts of people, and we state the facts or something. It's like it's basically the Texas Chainsaw Massacre crawl, like almost verbatim, like or the whole fucking thing, like the text and everything, the narration. It is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then we cut to the girl running in slow motion towards the camera, and she's running and she's running, and then it goes to like black or white or some shit. No, red. I think it goes to red. And then it cuts to like the fucking car chase, which is awesome. The fucking car chase is so cool. It's like this little red Pinto car driving down the street with this girl, and she's like, she's being chased. And we have Kyle Gallner driving the biggest fucking truck in the world down the street, and he's like snorting cocaine. And you're like, oh my God, this is the serial killer. This is the guy. He's chasing down the girl. He's driving in this truck, and he's like, and it's so good because it's a red car, black truck. She's wearing red. He's got like a red fucking, flannel on. It's awesome. And he like stops his truck, and it's all dramatic because he's like weaving up in the road, and like the back of the truck jitters. He gets out, he gets his little rifle, and he points his gun, and he fires. And he fires at the Pinto car. The Pinto car crashes, and she runs in the woods, and it's awesome. And it's like, strange darling. So that's the premise. You got a girl being chased by Kyle Gallner. And throughout the movie, a story told in 6 chapters. You get little pieces of the story as it goes along. And again, the fucking thing that's amazing about this movie is only like 98 minutes, maybe 100 minutes. It's not that long. And it goes by like quick. And because I remember watching this, I'm like, oh my God, we're already on chapter 3. How long was this movie? I'm like, oh my God, we're 18 minutes in. It's like only an hour and a half. Oh my God, we got like an hour left. This is great. But it's so good. Kyle Gallner is amazing. Made me want to watch more of his movies. I want to watch Dinner in America. I probably want to watch the other 2 movies that Red Letter Media watched. I think they watched some movie with God, what's her name? The legacy artist, the girl. Oh shit, I forgot her name. She's from Stranger Things. Not Millie Bobby Brown. I'm talking about like from the more recent season, the one where the guitar guy's like shaking her, like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Are you okay? Whatever." But she's in this movie. Oh, Casper Dean, whatever her first name is. It Grace Casper Dean? Her father's Casper Dean. So she's the daughter of Casper. So this is like, I think it's Grace. So Grace, where was I going with this? I forgot where. Oh yeah, Kyle Gallner movies. Oh my God, I just cracked myself up. I'm like, where the fuck am I going with this? But yeah, Kyle Gallner movies. I want to watch I don't know about the Grace movie, but I definitely want to watch The Passenger as well. So Dinner in America, Passenger. Get my fill of Kyle Gallner movies because he's good. But like, I don't want to spoil too much about Strange Darling because like literally, like if you spoil like what it is, like there's no mystery to the movie. But like this is really good. Strange Darling gets a 5 stars and a heart. I'm giving everything a 5. Like I'm starting to realize that rating movies is so stupid for me because like if I like a movie, it's 5 stars. If I don't like a movie, yeah, it gets the page 3 stars. So I don't want to spoil too much about Strange Darling. Go see it. Recommend. If it's at Walmart for $10, go get it. Let's see. Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit was so cool. I loved it. It was wonderful. It definitely felt like Mission Impossible. Fucking Gromit has become Ethan Hunt. Like, I'm not even joking anymore. Like, this is not... being facetious or whatever that word is, or just saying it, to say it. But like literally, Gromit is Ethan Hunt. He cares about Wallace so much. He wants to believe in him. He wants his love, but he's willing to do anything to save Wallace. And it's a beautiful movie. You got some gnomes in there, and it's just wonderful animation. It's a fun watch. I think it's only like an hour, 10 minutes, almost feature length. But it's a lot of fun. We have the guy, McCraw, is back. Good grief, it's you! That was the other thing, too. They squeezed in references from the previous movies into this one. Here's the thing. I was like, I really, really loved it, but I don't know if I'm being too lenient on it. But it was fun. I had a great time with it. There was some good setup and payoffs. And I love my setups and payoffs. There was a good setup in the beginning, and I was like, oh my God, that's what happened. That's where it is. Oh, that's fun. But Wallace and Gromit, if you love the shorts and the Were-Rabbit, I think this is better than Were-Rabbit. Just putting it out there. I like Were-Rabbit, but this is much better than Were-Rabbit. But I don't think there's not as many jokes as Were-Rabbit, because I think Were-Rabbit is like joke every fucking 30 seconds or whatever. This one, it's funny, but it's almost like a real movie. It's good. It's good though. It's good. So 5 stars and a heart. Again, I don't want to give away the plot for Wallace and Gromit, and because it's only like an hour and 10 minutes. Like, go watch it. If you want to watch it, go watch it. But I definitely would say it felt like Mission Impossible. It felt like it definitely had fucking what's it called? Oh God, what's it called? Reckoning. I was gonna say, is it Final Reckoning or Final Reckoning is the new one, right? Oh my God, I feel like an idiot. How am I forgetting what Mission Impossible is called? Oh my God, Mission Impossible film series. Reckoning, Dead Reckoning. Okay, so there's like whole sequences in Wallace and Gromit that felt like they were ripped out of Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. It was amazing. I'm not even joking. Like literal, like Dead Reckoning with Tom Cruise. It was fantastic. I loved it. Okay, moving on. So, since I got Netflix to watch Wallace and Gromit, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch some other Netflix movies. Let's watch some shit. So I put in Carry On. I heard a lot about Carry On, and I did see some pictures. I was like, ooh, it's got my favorite Eggsy in it from Kingsman and Elton John. He's in this movie. Oh, it's got Jason Bateman in it. I must watch this movie. And then I saw someone on Twitter was like, fucking everyone's calling Carry On Die Hard and Speed, but bruh, it's totally Nick of Time and Phone Booth. And I'm like, oh, sold. So I put in the movie, and it was all right. I feel like it kind of wears out its welcome over a while. In the beginning, they really hammer that he has a daughter and a kid, and I felt like it was kind of unnecessary. I think they, in retrospect, I think they were just trying to establish that the guy was a good guy that he was setting up, but it didn't really fucking matter. Because we all, how should I say this? The guy works for the TSA. We're going to assume that they're all good people. They're all innocent. We don't need to establish that they're good people. We don't. They're innocent people. They're innocent. We don't need to establish that, hey, they're good people. And they fucking do everything to establish this guy for being a good person. And then, when Eggsy sets him up and gets him off the thing and blames him for drinking on the job, I think that was totally unnecessary. Really, because like in the beginning of the movie, it just takes too long setting up all the pieces. It's like, yes, we know he has a wife and kid. Yes, we know the kid's on his way. Blah blah blah. And then it does it again with the friend. The friend's like, oh, blah blah blah. I was like, oh my God. Like right in the beginning, I was like kind of turned off. I was like, fucking, this is too much. Just get to the point already. Because I feel like with Carry On, you know what this movie's going to be. And they should just get to the point. Within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I should say 10 to 15 minutes, get to the fucking point. I don't need to be hearing about his, the dead wife and all that. Well, not the dead wife, but you know what I mean. Like they keep talking about the wife is pregnant. Oh, the girlfriend is pregnant, I should say. Oh my god. I do like that the guy was a fucking loser. Eggsy was a loser, and he's a loser. He is such a loser. Um, I can't believe how much of a loser this guy is. Like, it's incredible how much of a loser this guy is in Carry On. Like, it's undescribable. It's almost like you don't like him, and it's almost like you don't see, like, why don't they just pay Eggsy to let the case go through? Why is Eggsy having like a moral quandary? Like, we know, like, I don't know. It just seemed like he's not. He just seemed like a sketchy person because he's such a loser and he only cares about money and he cares about getting a promotion. It almost seemed like this guy is perfect to let the bag go through. Why doesn't he just let the bag go through? I don't know. It was whatever they did to set him up. I didn't feel it was right. He could have done a better job with that. But with that being said, fucking Jason Bateman was amazing. I love Jason Bateman. I felt like a little kid because when I what do you call it, for Wallace and Gromit, I invited my mom over to my place to watch Wallace and Gromit because we like the Wallace and Gromit. So we had like a little pizza wing night. And I was like a little kid in front of my TV. I'm like, Ma, it's Jason Bateman. And like, there's Jason Bateman with his like long hair because he don't give a fuck because he's not working. He's got a podcast, so he doesn't need to work. So he's just filming the movie as is with a baseball cap and long hair and mullet. I'm like, Ma, that's Jason Bateman. He's Bateman. Oh my gosh. And overall, it was an okay movie. Carry On was definitely okay. It was nick of time later on because then you find out like, oh, okay, that's what the point is. And of course, instead of terror, I like the twist now. The twist in movies now, it's no longer terrorists. It's no longer, Middle Eastern guys. It's no longer Russians. It's no longer terrorists. The threat is in within. And it's kind of sad because, what do you call it? That movie, White House Down, did this years ago, where the threat came from within the United States. So now everyone's catching up. So the threat is coming from within the United States. Again, I'm going to mention this later because there's another movie on my list that I got to get to. But like the threat in this movie was that it was right-wing people trying to blow up the thing so they can get more votes. That was the premise of the movie. That was the whole thing. Again, that was like, and then the thing that stands out in this movie, and I'm sure everyone knows, whoever watched this movie, there's like one scene that stands out. One. And the scene is when oh God, is it Homeland Security? Whoever. The Homeland Security guy's driving the car. He's driving the car. The fake Tom Hardy. He's driving the car. And in the passenger seat is the LAPD, the LA police. And then she gets a phone call and saying, hey, that guy from Homeland should be coming there. His name is Alvin Alcott. And apparently the guy who's driving the car, fake Tom Hardy, is Alvin Alcott. And she's like, oh, fuck. And then for no reason at all, it goes into like Crank 2 fucking Sin City for no reason. Where Last Christmas starts playing. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. And they're doing like this camera that's going like a 360 around them inside the car. And it's cool and all, but like nothing else in the movie is like this. And it's fucking weird. Like if you're going to do that, you should do that like every 5 to 10 minutes. Where like, maybe Eggsy has to fight a guy in close quarters and the camera's got to go around crazy, But like it goes full fucking Matthew Vaughn. I think that's the crazy thing. It goes full on Kingsman in that car when they're fighting for the gun and get in the car accident and it flips over. It goes in like that like craziness. And I wish there was more of that in the movie. And then I see my what do you call it? My mom mentioned it. Carry On, the Liar Liar reference. Oh my God, that cracked me up. So at the end of the movie, fucking Carry On goes full liar liar. And it's so sad. It's so stupid. Oh my god. So like Eggsy is like, I'm the only one who stopped the bomb. And he's like running on the tarmac and he gets on that little luggage carrier, just like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. And he's like driving as fast as he could, like 30, 40 miles an hour in this little carrier, like full on Liar Liar mode. And his girlfriend is like talking to the LA police, like saying, don't ground the flight. They're going to arm it on the ground. Don't do anything suspicious. Meanwhile, in retrospect, after watching the movie, they should have just stopped the plane because Jason Bateman would have not have activated it. Jason Bateman had a fucking personal parachute, which cracked me up. He's like, I got a personal parachute. It's like, first of all, if a fucking little bomb is going to get tagged, wouldn't a personal fucking parachute get tagged? Just saying. So cinema scene, ding. Parachutes probably are not allowed on flights. So, oh my god, that was beautiful too. When Jason Bateman, that felt so Bateman. So Bateman's on the plane and he's trying to shove his carry-on over the overhead, and it's not finished. Like, it's been tagged, Bateman, and he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, poor Bateman, going full Bateman. Holy shit. Oh my god. So anyway, full Liar Liar. Eggsy gets on the plane, and Eggsy like deactivates and grabs the thing, and I'm like, oh my god, it's going full Con Air because, and my mom's like, no way, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna do it? Are they gonna go full Con Air? And it's funny because Jason Bateman's in the plane and he's trying to activate the bomb, and his stupid cell phone's like, it's not activating, you gotta go to manual mode. So Jason Bateman gets up from his seat and he goes full Con Air. He pulls up the floorboard and goes underneath. And I'm like, why didn't you put the bunny back in the box? And then they start like fighting. And then he's like, you're a loser and you'll always be a loser. And then he like, Eggsy like kicks him into this like airtight vault that's for some reason inside the airplane. And he throws the gas canister in there and they shuts them in there. Like, oh, I was kind of expecting a little bit more. So then they land the plane. They go again with this movie. They're really trying to be Die Hard, or like not even Die Hard. I think they're trying to like pluck and pick different things. Like the promotion feels very Christmas Vacation, where he wants to promotion. There's like a line from It's a Wonderful Life plucked in there as well. And then at the end, it's like full on Die Hard 2. Like it's almost like shot for shot. They have like the fucking plane on the tarmac and all the cars pulling up, almost like Die Hard. Yeah. It didn't feel like a Christmas movie. If like on the scale of Christmas movies, like Die Hard feels like a Christmas movie. I would say the next one down for action movies would probably be, is it this one or Lethal Weapon? I don't know. I'd say Lethal Weapon's next because this one didn't really feel like Christmas. They need a little bit more Christmas. Sprinkle a little more Christmas in this movie and it would have been good. It was not enough Christmas. So I was like, again, so for a reference, so a few years ago I saw this movie called The Green Knight, and it felt like artistic bullshit, the whole movie. And like towards the end, it's getting really bad where I'm like, oh, this is artistic bullshit. Fuck Green Knight. Fuck this movie. Fuck it up the ass. And I'm really hating it because it's like all this weird ghost stories. And then at the end, you see what happens. And then you find out it's all a vision right before the fucking guy was supposed to die. He says, wait a minute. Let me take off my green scarf. All right, now go ahead. And he says, oh, off with your head. And then you find out is the reason why the green thing was supposed to protect him from getting killed. And he realized he saw like the whole movie was a vision of how his life would have been if he lives and didn't get his head chopped off. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't want to live that life. So it felt like that because at that one, I was like, oh, that's what the movie's about. 5 stars, 10 stars. I like that movie. For this one too, similar thing. So this whole movie, I'm like, he's trying to be Tom Cruise in the hallway. Oh, this is stupid. And then it gets revealed at the end that, oh yeah, the reason why I lied on my test is because I was trying to protect my loser father, but I'm not going to do that anymore. And at the end, he's going on vacation. He's got his daughter and his wife. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute, guys. I forgot something in my wallet or my pocket. And he throws down his fucking badge and he became an LAPD. And I was like, yes, I fucking love it. Like, it made the whole movie worthwhile. that he's no longer a loser. He's now working for the LAPD. He got his life together. He's doing something that he wants to do, and he no longer cares about anybody else affecting his life. He's taking control of his own destiny. He became a cop. I was like, oh, fuck yes. 10 stars for this movie. The only thing, I already gave a couple detriments. The intro of the movie, how he's too much of a loser. But the other detriment, the little thing, because action movie dictates that you need like one more thing at the end. I was fully expecting Bateman going full Carl from Die Hard to try to kill Eggsy. That would have been great, but they didn't do it. Oh yeah, they also do the Die Hard thing. Instead of Twinkies, they do peppermint ding dongs. And I was like, you're flying too close to the sun there. You're doing a little too much Die Hard. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean. But yeah, it was definitely like a phone booth and Nick of Time. More so phone booth, because you have the voice of the guy in his ear, like, hey, no, don't do that. I like the argument that he made with his girlfriend at the bar when they're eating lunch. That was great. I was like, you dummy, you're talking to him, and that was great. And then, yeah, I think that's it. That's it for Carry On. Carry On, realistically, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I would be down for a sequel, though. I'd be down for a sequel where he's LAPD, same shit, same time. I love it. Not a purchase. Of course, it's on Netflix, but I'm just saying, if it was on DVD, not a purchase. Rental, light recommend. 3 stars. Moving on. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this one much, because there's not really much to talk about. It's a Netflix Christmas movie. It's called Our Little Secret, starring Lindsay Lohan. I became a Lindsay Lohan because of watching Mean Girls and Herbie Fully Loaded and Freaky Friday. She's a great actress. She's got the talent. She's cute. She's sweet. She hasn't lost a bit of that at all in the last 20 years. I was like, oh, I've watched her my whole life, watched her my whole life because I've always seen her, but oh my God, it's so weird to see, it's she's not that much older than me. I was like, oh my God. Oh, it was wonderful seeing her though. I liked the movie, but again, it's just a Netflix Christmas movie. And it doesn't stray far from the path. It's like, oh, family fights, everyone separates. We all get back together at the end. Everyone finds happiness. Full spoilers, though. I will say this. I do love that Tim Meadows ended up with Christine Chenoweth. That was fucking boss. That was awesome. Because I felt so bad for Tim Meadows, because there's a scene everyone has somebody, but Tim Meadows had nobody. And then at the end, fucking window comes down. Christine Chenoweth is with Tim Meadows, and I'm like, fuck, yes, this movie rules. But it's just a generic Christmas movie. It's all right. It's a Christmas. I see Captain Iron Dog coming on here. Hallmark. Yeah, it's just Hallmark. It's just, silly shit. They eat all the cookies. There's gummies. There's nothing to. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's it doesn't stray too far the path. It's not awesome. I consider it great because I love Lindsay Lohan, and I did have a fun time. And it's got the fucking Mission Impossible guy in there. It's got fucking oh God, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm such a fucking idiot. What's his name? I know his name, but what's his name? Hang on, I'm Googling it. Give me a second. Kittredge. Fuck yes, it's got Kittredge. Kittredge plays Lindsay Lohan's dad in this movie. It even opens up with a Kittredge narration of her life. When my daughter was growing up, I'm like, oh my God, I know that voice. And then later on, I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking Kittredge. I'm like, Kittredge is out. Both Kittredge and Lindsay Lohan are making comebacks in a big fucking way. I love it. Fucking Kittredge is in this movie. But yeah, it's a Frank Ireland great, but it's probably an everyday 3-star good movie. But it's getting a great for me. I'm going to give it. I know everyone else would give it a 3-star, but I'm giving it a 4-star because I had a fun time and it's Lindsay Lohan and it's Christmas. I'm going to give it a 4. Not full 5. It's a 4. And a heart. Yeah. So that's Our Little Secret. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's just a Christmas movie with Lindsay Lohan. There you go. All right. We're almost to the final 3. All right, so the next one I watched is America's sweetheart, Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell did a movie with Richard Linklater. And like I said earlier in the beginning, there's a girl from Everybody Wants Some. We have an Everybody Wants Some reunion. We got Glenn Powell, we got Richard Linklater, and then we have the guy who's playing the other underagent. He was the guy from fucking Everybody Wants Some. So it's all Everybody Wants Some reunion this night. So Hitman tells the story of this like really geeky, nerdy guy who's like, he works a job as a teacher at a high school, and during his off time as a secondary job, he does like technical work audio wise as an undercover, stuff for sting operations. So one of these sting operations goes wrong because the guy who usually does the undercover shit got called in and is suspended, but they can't cancel the appointment. They can't cancel the meetup for this hitman, this sting operation. So they're like, all right, we're going to send you in, Glenn Powell. And it's so funny because in this movie, Glenn Powell has like these big giant glasses, like these Dahmer glasses, and he's got his hair like really glassed over and slicked to the side like a fucking nerd, and he's like wearing these Janko type jeans or whatever. They're just like big giant like dad jeans and white sneakers. It's hilarious. So they're like, you go in, and he's like, well, you can't go in like that. So they switch pants. So he puts on some jean jackets, and instead of his hair to the side, he slicks it back, and I think he gets rid of his glasses, and he acts all fucking cool. And they're like, hey, you're a natural at this. Because he makes up all this shit about being a hitman. Like, you know what I do? What I do is I usually, take him up to my family's plantation and the bayou. You know where the bayou is? I usually go up to the bayou, and that's where I usually get rid of the body. And you know what the big problem is? Teeth. And then in order to get rid of the teeth, I usually just put like a little firecracker and poof, all the teeth go out. That's the problem. I usually take care of it that way. So that's what you got to do. He's like doing all this crazy shit about hitman stuff. And it's funny because after they arrest the guy, they're like, what'd you come up with? I say, I don't know. I just made it all up. I watch TV. I like movies. And it's so funny because they do like a little montage of all his different things. And fucking Glenn Powell like does one of his hitman things as Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. So he's all dressed up in a suit with the hair. And he's like, you know what I really do? He does the fucking spot on Christian Bale. It's hilarious. And it reminded me of The Saints with Val Kilmer, because The Saints, Val Kilmer would do all these things. He would dress as a different character for the situation. Like if he wants to get information from me, he'll do this saint. Or if he goes to there, he wants to get some, he does this character. He does that character. And then as he does that, he finds a lady and he falls for it. And in fact, I'm probably going to watch The Saint after this, because this is the third time I've talked about The Saint. I want to watch The Saint. So like, same thing happens in both movies. He falls in love with the girl while doing a mission, and he gets fucking deep in it, and he starts dating the girl, even though he told her like, hey, I'm not going to kill your husband. You should just take this money, start a new life, divorce him or whatnot. So she does that, and they start dating, but she thinks she's dating the hitman, and it all comes like, they all start getting entwined, and then there's like a real murder, and it's like, oh no, what's going on? And it's a great movie. It's fun. I'm glad it did get some theatrical release. I believe there is a Blu-ray, which I probably will order, because Glenn Powell supremacy. Glenn Powell is life. Glenn Powell, Twisters, and what do you call it? Anyone But You, and The Dark Knight Rises, and Top Gun Maverick. Glenn Powell Summer. Glenn Powell Summer, Glenn Powell for life. He is great. He's like probably my favorite actor working out there now, like current actor. Like Timothée Chalamet, he may be a good actor, but none of his work is, interesting to me. Like, I don't want to see a Dune. I don't want to see a remake of Willy Wonka. I don't want to see a Bob Dylan movie. I'm sure they're all good movies, but I have like zero interest. None at all. Don't even want to see them. I'm like, why? I don't need it up here in my library of movies. It's just like, I don't. But like Glenn Powell, he's there. He's doing all the type of movies I want to see. It's like, I want to see romantic comedies again. He did Anyone But You. I want to see a Twister sequel since I was fucking 5 years old. He did a Twister sequel. He's doing a Running Man movie with my man Edgar Wright, who sent me my Scott Pilgrim poster. He's on a roll. Fucking Glenn Powell is awesome. I love him. Hopefully they do a Twister sequel. I would love that. Glenn Powell is awesome. Anyway, movie was great. Also a Richard Linklater fan. That dude has not lost a fucking inch, of like, or, any amount of quality in directing. Because Days Confused is like one of his earlier movies. I fucking love Days Confused. You guys know me. I love his Scanner Darkly. He's still got the juice. He's still got the talent. Richard Linklater is awesome. I loved Hitman. It's good. It's on Netflix. Everyone has Netflix. Go watch Netflix and watch Hitman. It's good. So then the other thing. So today I squeezed in 2 more movies for this chat. 2 more movies. The first one was One More Shot. One More Shot, I was actually going to watch the same night as Carry On and Wallace and Gromit, but I got fucking tired. And not only that, but it's an action movie, so I'm like, I can't really watch action movies after 1 in the morning because the gunfire. So I watched One More Shot. Apparently, it's a sequel. Had no idea about the first movie, but it's a sequel to the first movie. And the whole gimmick is that it's all done in one shot, like one camera move. And it was fucking rad. It was fucking rad, dude. And it just made me sad because, like, back in the day, this would be like a huge movie in the fucking 90s. This would be like a huge, like, I don't know, like Tommy Lee Jones, Harrison Ford movie in the 90s. Nowadays, I think it got released in the UK, so that's good. The UK got this in the theater. Poor us in the States. I think we got this, tossed on Netflix and, like, no fanfare. But, like, it's all done in one shot. We have Scott Adkins in it. He plays this. Not only that, but, like, Scott Adkins plays, like, one of my favorite character types. My mom always makes fun of me because, like, my mom loves, and the same thing with Sarah. Sarah loves, like, oh, heart movies, family loving. My mom loves, oh, teamwork. We're all working as a team. This is right up my alley. This is a man on a mission and no one else is there to help him. There's no cavalry. He's got to do it all on his own. Fucking Scott Adkins is fucking rad. He's got to save this dude and get the information from him because, like, this dude is like they keep calling him a terrorist, but apparently he wasn't a terrorist. He just put the pieces together and someone else is doing the dirty work. And it was so fucking cool. So, like, they're transporting this guy and there's supposed to be a dirty bomb in DC and they're trying to figure out where the dirty bomb is and they're all at the airport, but somebody knew they were going to be at the airport. They lost the fucking element of surprise. So, like, they're like, oh shit, so we all, but the gunshots, gunfire, oh my god, whose side are we on? We got to get out of here. All right, turn back to the terminal. Because it's all done in one shot. It's all craziness. It's wonderful. They get in there and you find out that oh my god, you find out that you knew who the guy was since the beginning of the movie because, like, it's one of the first people you hear and see in the movie. You find out that's the fucking villain of the movie, and that's the only blight of this movie of one more shot. The fucking villain female is terrible. She felt like a little kid playing bad guy. Like, if I were to play a bad guy and, like, I think I've even done a bad guy. Like, if I were to dig it up, I'm sure I'd gave, like, the same performance that she did when I was in fucking college for my friend Alan's short film. That actually might be, I might put that on the internet, but it's like the same performance I gave. I gave that same performance of, like, I am tough guy. I'm going to be, I'm like, how, let me give an example. Like, it's like, I'm going to blow your head off and I'm going to do this and that. Like, it's not that great because it's me. It's fucking silly. You got the wrong person for the role. So I'm watching this movie. I'm like, man, they should have got somebody who was, like, in their 30s or whatever. So I look up her age after the movie's over. She's 35. She's fucking 35, but she's like a goddamn teenager in this. Like, seriously, compared to everybody else. So we have, like, Scott Adkins, who's, like, probably 50, 60-year-old action man who does anything. He's fucking awesome. Then we got Michael Jai White, fucking, humongous tank, awesome stuntman, actor, martial artist. He's in this movie. And everyone's giving 100%. We even have Tom fucking Berenger in this movie. Tom Berenger, sniper himself. He's in this movie, giving a great performance. Everyone is believable in this movie until that lead female villain. She is so bad. It is so bad because, like, it bothered me so much. I'm like, oh my god, this movie was so good because, like, she becomes, like, an important part of the movie, and it's like, oh fuck, because it worked. It worked for the advantage in the beginning because she just seemed like a lower tier person. Mousy, kind of like nobody, like one of those, like one of the henchmen, fine, whatever. But when she becomes, like, the main bad guy, it's like, this sucks. This fucking sucks. Another thing I want to mention for all those who are fans of Valverde, the YouTube channel, Duncan Casey and Richard Jackson, those guys, I totally forgot that Duncan Casey was in this movie. So when Duncan Casey shows up, I was like, oh my god, it's Duncan Casey. Duncan Casey shows up, and it's so funny because I know him as a British guy, right? He's always did the commentaries with Oliver Harper and Richard Jackson. And he even did a voice for like one of my mashup videos. He did like the I think he did the Arnold voice in my mashup I did, and then he also did the I was with the Navy, not the Navajo. He did that voice for like Q&As. So to see him in this movie, like as like he's like, I'm an American actor. It was great. It's like it's so awesome. He was more believable because like he's an actor, right? And you believe him as the COO or CFO. He's like one of the high officials at this airport, and he's at this thing, and he's so great. And then the thing that made me say like, oh my god, because dude, this movie is brutal. They don't hold back punches. A lot of people fucking die, but it's kind of okay just because the movie is so hardcore. Because the whole movie, like, here's the thing with this movie. Everyone feels expendable, and you don't know who's gonna live or die. And I kind of like that. And they don't make movies like this where it just felt like anybody could die. It like honestly, like Scott Adkins is gonna most likely live, but like, dude, like everyone was fucking expendable in this movie because it was fucking brutal. Like I said, like Duncan Casey, the actor, in the movie, gets fucking shot in the head. I was like, oh my god. Then later in the movie, something similar happens where like this little hostage woman comes out to save, Scott Adkins for like a little bit. The fucking like henchman, like guy, like one of the terrorist dudes, the mercenaries, shoots this poor airport woman. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like they hold no punches, and it's all because like they have to find the fucking dirty bomb. It is so good. And it's so funny because both Carry On and One More Shot are like similar movies. Like if you're to say like, okay, you're both at the airport, there's a dirty bomb that has to be found, and you got to find out the situation before they kill the government. Both movies have the same fucking premise, but like One More Shot was awesome. And again, so the Blight. Oh, hang on. I said that was the only Blight. There is a second Blight. The problem with movies that are all done in one shot is that you can't cut anything out. So, like, there's a point in the movie where I'm like, okay, this should be the ending. Normally, this is where you ramp up to the end. But we don't get there because we have, like, one more fight scene, which was okay because it was the lisp guy. Oh, my God. So, in this movie, there is a mercenary with a lisp. And he keeps talking like this, like... Go over there, motherfucker. Like he's got like a female kind of like lisp voice. And I was like, this is kind of great because like you don't have that in an action movie. Usually everyone sounds like a tough guy, tough man. But like one of the final boss fights in this movie is a guy with like a lisp, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And I think he's probably like a famous martial artist because he knew how to fight. But it was great because he wasn't acting like a tough guy, or I guess he kind of was, but it was funny because he had like that little it would almost be like if the character Bill Murray from Ed Wood was trying to be a bad guy. Because if you guys watch Ed Wood, like Bill Murray is like, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. If it wasn't for these men, I would be dead. I'm not sure I would be here. But it's that kind of character as a mercenary. I love it. It's great. Oh my god. And then, what's so funny? The whole movie, I'm like, okay, at some point, Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White have to fight. And I'm just waiting for that moment, and it finally happens. And it's so fucking cool because it's like literally, like imagine like if you don't know who like Michael Jai White or Scott Adkins are, just imagine it's like King Kong and Godzilla. They've been separated for the whole movie. Or if it's like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, they've been separated for the whole movie. And when they finally get to the fucking scene together, it's like, yes, this is where we want our movie money's worth, and it's so good. And I like to kind of leave it open for a sequel. Like Scott Adkins doesn't kill Michael Jai White. He fucking handcuffs him to the door. But I'm not sure. Like I haven't watched the first one. Maybe Michael Jai White's in the first one. I have to look that up. But yeah, this is good. And it was so much better than Carry On. And it's like the same plot. The only problem, like there's like 3 problems I had. So like the length, because it's so long, is like I think it's like 2 hours. I think this movie's like a solid like hour 40, hour 50, something like that. The female villain, terrible. No offense, lady, but like you were miscast. Like they should have went somebody else. They needed like a Toni Collette type. They needed someone a little bit older. I don't know, someone with more confidence. I think that's it. I think that's the word that would be best describe this movie. I would say yes, but with more confidence, because she just seemed like a kid playing dress up, and I didn't really like that. But yeah, Those are good. It was a good movie. Go check out One More Shot. It's good. It's on Netflix. Everyone has Netflix. I give it 5 stars in a heart. And then the final movie before I did the stream was called Rebel Ridge. And god damn it, why is this just rotting on streaming? They should have put this on the big screen for people to see. Whoever this lead actor is, I've never seen him before in anything. He should be a goddamn star. This guy seems like the next Denzel. This guy was fucking awesome. So Rebel Ridge, for those who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows. Everyone has Netflix. I'm the one who's like catching up to the party. But anyway, I'm going to just talk for those people who have never even heard of it. So Rebel Ridge, it's this, this black guy. He's on his little bike. He's listening to metal music on the motorcycle, like his little bicycle. He's riding his little bicycle, and all of a sudden you see this cop car, like really weaving in and out, and then fucking bumps into the bike, and then they hit him with everything. Like you were, running away from the police. You're doing this, you're doing that, and the police. I don't want to ignore your comment. I just seen it pull up. Is January movie Wolfman okay to see? Oh yeah, we're going to see Wolfman. It's Lee Winnell. We're going to see Lee Winnell. Oh, the new actor is going to play Jon Stewart. Oh, dude, is he going to play Green Lantern? Oh fuck, dude, that's going to be good. I'm sold. So anyway, they take his money away because he was going to bail out his brother from this jail, and he's got 30 grand on him, 10 grand to bail out the brother, and then 20 grand to buy a truck. So he gets to town and tries to get his money back, but he can't get his money back. And he sees this little clerk at the town hall, and she's like, "Oh, let me try to help you out. Let me try to do this." So long story short, because I'm sure we want to talk about other movies in 2024, we'll go over my list and explain the rankings. But hang on, we got another comment. Oh, I totally forgot about Wolfman. Yeah, Wolfman's coming out in January. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see Wolfman. It's Lee Winnell. I like Lee Winnell. He did, he invented Saw. He wrote Dead Silence with the puppet, Billy the Puppet, or whatever. And then he also did Invisible Woman or Invisible Man, the white woman fantasy movie. He did that. It was all right. It's good. I'm going to see Wolfman. So anyway, long story short, Rebel Ridge was like Walking Tall. Or one of those old 70s movies where they're like, oh shit, we fucked with the wrong guy. It's almost like Machete, where it's like, oh fuck, we fucked with the wrong Mexican. Maybe I'm just thinking that because Don Johnson's in both movies. But I like the whole thing too, because okay, so the black dude, right? He goes in front of the police station, and he's been fucking with the police the last couple of days, right? So he's standing up front with his hands behind his back, waiting for somebody to come out. And they're like, pull up his. Oh, they're reading his file before he pulls up on his little bicycle. So they're like, okay, he used to be in the Marines. He never served combat. He was always a trainer. He's like an MC MAP. We don't know what the hell that is. Oh my god, our internet's out. Let me reset our router. And they're like, oh my god, he's here. So like Don Johnson goes out there and starts fucking with him because they're like, he never served combat. He doesn't know weapons. He don't know jack shit. And then as the internet comes back on, they're like, holy fuck, get away from him. And you find out that the dude is like trained to do like non-lethal combat or whatever. Like he can do lethal combat and non-lethal combat, and it's all like he's like physical training, meditation and shit. And he like fucking takes down like Don Johnson, and he takes out the fat cops with like he like takes their guns apart. It's so fucking rad. It's so cool. Oh my god. But the whole movie's like that. It's again, this is like not reinventing the wheel. It's like a Walking Tall movie, and if you know Walking Tall, you know that guy comes into town, tries to set things right, gets into trouble, has a girlfriend there. Girlfriend kind of gets in trouble, and he's got to save the day, blah, blah, this and that. Not reinventing the wheel. Not only that, but like, of course, like he's coming to town to save the cousin, and of course the cousin dies. And it's like, this is like action movie 101. But like it's done in a way that it's so cool. Like normally, like it would be like fucking, guns blazing kind of movie. Shotgun, like they fucked with me, I'm gonna fuck with them, and they blow everything up. But this dude is like non-lethal. It's so fucking cool. Like he grabs like the shotgun, like, And like he's like, fills it with like the bean bags, and they're like, put the gun down. He's like, bean bags, motherfucker. It's so good. And then like he uses like tasers and shit. It's awesome. This is great. I was just about to ask, which Walking Tall are you talking about? Dude, I need to watch. Okay, so Captain Iron Dog. I haven't seen any of the Walking Talls. I just assume this is what Walking Tall is. I assume it's a guy coming from out of town, seeing that the town's corrupt and he's got to fix it up. That's what I assume it is. I haven't seen any of them. But I just seen that Voodoo has the original one with the fucking actor I love. And it's the one I've been wanting to get on Blu-ray, but I'm always afraid that if I get like an old out of print $50 Blu-ray, they're going to release a new one. So anyway, full disclosure, there's any of the Walking Talls, but I assume that it's about a guy who comes into town, sees that it's corrupt, and then fixes the fucking place up. I assume. I don't know. I've only seen the one with The Rock. Dude, there's like fucking 5 of them. There's like an original 70s one, and I think the original 71s has like 3 sequels. And then there's like a one with Rock, and then I think there's one with like the fucking Hercules actor or something. There's like more. There's like maybe 10 Walking Tall movies. But yeah. So it was good. It was great. I would say it was great. It was fantastic. I do like the reveal. I don't want to ruin like there's like a cop that's a good cop that's been like kind of undercover, right? He's deep down inside he's a good cop, or she is a good cop. He or she. I kind of fucked it up anyway. But anyway, they call this good cop, he or she cop, Serpico. Like, all right, Serpico. And then at the end, when you find out who it is, like, oh shit, it's that guy or that girl. Oh my god. But anyway, it was good. Good stuff. Highly recommend. All right. Let me take a drink. We'll get there. All right. Let's pull it up, Jamie. Add to stage. So this is my ranking list. Rankin Bass list. So let's look at the new rankings. We'll start at 5th. Well, we'll do the top 20. We'll do the top 20 because I feel bad for Trap. Trap almost got eliminated. Eliminate. Can we zoom in on this? Let's see. Give me a second. It's all in the same browser, so it's all fucking slow. Okay, does that look better to you guys? Yeah, that looks better to you guys because it's a little bit bigger. All right, so we'll start at number 20 and we'll work our way down. So Trap, I explained this on the other live stream I did. I like Trap. Again, Trap is definitely a 5 stars. Heart, it's great. I got the Blu-ray. Finally got the Blu-ray. Oh my gosh. Picked it up at Walmart a couple weeks ago. Love it. Trap is great. Josh Hartnett's back, everybody. He's fantastic in it. It is silly, but you know that going in because it's M. Night Shyamalan. So with that in your mind, you're going to have a great time. I think so anyway. I like Trap. Trap was fun. Number 19. Again, it wasn't reinventing the wheel, but Our Little Secret. Lindsay Lohan made the top 20. As I said before, so my top, how I do the ranking is what would I watch over the other. So with this ranking, I would rather watch Our Little Secret over Trap. So there you go. Then the next one is 18, Strange Darling, which I just talked about earlier. It's good. Check it out. I don't want to ruin the twist because the movie is layered in a way where the twist is revealed and whatnot. There's a lot of detail in this movie. Shit was going on. The director was thinking. It was good. Same thing with Oddity. I loved Oddity. A little ghost story. It's a nice little twist. It's good. Number 16, I could finally talk about it. The embargo has been lifted. Sonic 3 is my number 16. Sonic 3 was awesome. I love Sonic 3. There was like a meme a few weeks ago where it was like Dune, Gladiator 2, and I forgot there was like a third movie, and they were all about like revenge, and they all came out this year. Like, it's all about vengeance. And I'm like, isn't it funny that the only movie that really said that vengeance isn't worth it was Sonic 3? And it was great. Like, and the whole reason why I'm in Grinch mode, because the last couple, I would say ever since I saw Sonic 3, I've been like in a really Grinch mode. Like, I'm like, Grinch is awesome. Grinch is cool. After Sonic 3, I got The Grinch, and I watched it with Jim Carrey, and I had a new appreciation for it. because like in Sonic 3, like Jim Carrey is like in full Riddler mode. There was like times in the movie where I'm like, oh my god, it's Riddler, he's back, he still has it. And then like a lot of the time I'm like, oh my god, it's like the Grinch. The Grinch is back because like his performance as the Robotniks was so fun and so good. And like I know he's a silly man, but like he really put some thought in the Doctor Robotnik, the older one. I think it's Gerald Robotnik, the older one. Where the whole movie, the Gerald Robotnik is like being silly, ho, 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 and he's doing like, the stupid shit. But immediately after he gets what he wants, he becomes serious. And what Jim Carrey does for both roles, but like that role where he just becomes serious and it's very like kind of subtle if you're not paying attention, but it's like holy fuck, that's so good. And then I don't know, it was great. And that inspired me to rewatch The Grinch and just get in Grinch mode, and it was great. Um I loved the whole Shadow story, and it's so I find this series so weird. Like it all started with this like little generic kids movie where like, oh, it's an alien from outer space and it's got James Marsden and blah blah blah, and now it's like full on like amazing trilogy. It's a good set of films that they've gotten better with each one. They're silly, they're fun, they're action, they have heart. It's like the whole gambit of like what you want for a movie, and they're not too stupid. And they're silly, but it's just like, I love them. I love them. 5 stars, and it gets a heart. I want to check the comments though. Maybe Captain Nine Dog saying, "Yep, there it is." Sonic 3 is my peak, dude. Sonic 3 is awesome. I have no complaints about Sonic 3. It was good. Okay, number 15. Sure, number two. Number two. It's good. Nicholas Holt's up to something. Number 14. Beetlejuice. Again, I've talked about that movie in length in like a previous stream. And not only that, but me and Sarah did like a double feature where we talked about Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice. I like Beetlejuice, and I think I've said everything already. I really don't want to repeat myself. If you want to watch that, go watch those discussions because I go into depth about Beetlejuice. But there's that. Number 13. I just bought the Blu-ray. I was not going to settle for the fucking DVD just because of how they look. Okay, so for those who don't know, Terrifier movies are like shot on film or they're edited to look like old Grindhouse movies, so they already look old and grainy. And I could not sanction watching that series at all on DVD. There's no fucking way. No fucking way, because like when it's on DVD quality already degrades it. So watching a degraded movie with degradation, I was like, oh no, I gotta get the Blu-ray. So I just got it. I haven't watched it again, but like Terrifier 3 was fucking rad. Like this is like an artist who's growing. So like the first one is crazy as fuck. He does what he wants to do, right? But everyone, like, he wants to do a sequel, but then like everyone fucking pitches in for the sequel, like fans and everything. They're like, let's make an awesome Terrifier movie. So he does like this huge opus. It's like a fucking Godfather movie. It's like Godfather parts 1 and 2 together for Terrifier 2, right? It's a fucking epic. It's almost 3 hours long. And then he must have heard the complaints like it's too long or whatever. And he says, all right, let me do the next one. And like, I feel like Terrifier 3 like perfected it. Like it's like it's almost perfection. It's almost every 5 to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but at least 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know. Either there. There's like it's a time frame. Like you could probably do a stopwatch to this fucking movie. I would say 10 minutes, there's something crazy going on. Either a murder, a crazy ass scene, or something. Something's going on every 10 minutes. And it's great. And it's almost like, it's so weird to say this, but it's almost like a live action, like Looney Tunes. Like you have Art the Clown there and he's fucking with these people. And like he fucks with them until they don't want to fuck with him anymore. And then that's when he kills them. And it's seriously, it's weird. It's really like a Looney Tune. Like he's like Bugs Bunny or somebody and he's coming in and he's doing like the most gruesome deaths ever. And I think they perfected it with Terrifier 3. And in our screening, somebody left. I think after that first kill, it's like that. Oh, I think it's after the knife, because like in the movie they break the glass and she does something with the glass. They left the theater after that scene, My mom covered her eyes the whole time. Um, but I fucking love the ending of Terrifier 3. Like, if I recall correctly, if it's him who got beat up, like he's like covered in blood. I think something happened. I forgot what happened to him, but he's covered in blood and exhausted. And he gets on a fucking like bus. And that's how it ends. I think he's just like on the bus, like exhausted from the night he had. And it's good. It's crazy. It's wild. Um, but I think he perfected it. He finally fine-tuned his character, the Art the Clown. And it's so funny because it's like you could tell who's not a fan and who is a fan, because people call him Terrifier, but it's fucking Art the Clown. So when you see Art the Clown, it's like, oh my gosh. But like Art the Clown, yeah, he's good. And like if it ever comes to Fan Expo, Fan Expo or Niagara Falls Comic Con, I gotta see him. I gotta see Art the Clown. He's iconic. Like everyone, I think that's the other thing too that was like really scary for studios, because studios are like, oh my god, because Terrifier is like I think Terrifier 3 specifically is like the first major release unrated movie ever or in a while, and it made millions of dollars, and it made its budget back in like tons, like it like quadrupled its budget back. And I think it made studios scared, like holy shit, people are willing to see unrated movies and like something crazy like this. And I think someone made the phrase on Twitter once that said, everybody, all the studios want a Terrifier. They all want it. Hang on, here's the phrase. Hang on, let me get it correct. All the studios want a Terrifier 3, but all the studios are scared to make a Terrifier 1. And what that means is that they're afraid to take the leap to try to make a new character. Because Art the Clown is a new character. He's a new character for our generation. You know, because back in the day, you had Michael Myers, Jason, all that. And all these studios are kind of scared to make a new character. They're always going back to like The Crow or American Psycho or whatever. They're going back to revive these things. They're afraid to take that next step. And I feel like the studios are probably scared of this, because not only they have unrated, made a lot of money, and then like an original character that was made, and they have no rights to it. Because like I was watching interviews with this where the director was like talking about like how big studios were willing to do it. Like I don't know, I don't think he named them, but like just examples. Like he met with like Universal or Warner Brothers. I don't know if those were the ones, but he met with big studios, and they're like, "We'll make your Terrifier 3, but we want to have control." And he was like, "No, I can go make my Terrifier 3 without you guys, and like I'll have full control." But like it was so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, Terrifier 3, I love it. And another fun fact, just to put it on the record, for the record. So when Terrifier 3 came out, the Wild Robot came out, if I recall correctly. I believe it was Wild Robot. And people bought tickets, or teenagers and kids bought tickets to see Wild Robot, but went to see Terrifier 3, so that's why there was a bump in the box office that weekend for Wild Robot. Because I think Wild Robot had already been in the theater for like 2 or 3 weeks, so like that third or fourth week was like a big giant bump of ticket sales for Wild Robot. It was because people were sneaking to see Terrifier 3. Oh my gosh. But it was a fun theater experience because it was crazy. It was wild. I wore my little Santa hat, and it was great to see some people just get up and walk out of the theater because they were just not ready for Art the Clown. They had no idea what the fuck they're walking into. Oh my god. And it just made me more open to watch more low budget movies in the theater. Example, me and my mom just saw Werewolves a couple weeks ago. That shit was like direct to DVD, but I don't know how they got that in the theater, but I'm like, fuck it. I'll go see that in the theater. I don't care. It's something different. I'll go see something like that in the theater. And I think if they're like willing to do that, release these little movies into the theater, I think that's great. Let's go to the comment section, see if anyone's talking about Art the Clown. Art the Clown. Let's see. Captain Iron Dog says, still got to watch 2 and 3. Okay, you've seen the first one. All right. Because first one's crazy. Second one is like fucking opus. It's like 3 hours long. It's crazy. Because he squeezed so much shit in it. But like the third one, oh my God, I think he perfected it. So good. I remember those people left 10 minutes in. They left their drinks. Dude, they could not escape the theater quick enough. They left their drinks, snacks, and everything at their seats. Didn't get a chance to see Werewolves. Oh, yeah. Frank Grillo was great in that movie. Frank Grillo was the lead in Werewolves. And again, it's like an average movie. It's like probably 2.5, 3-star movie. But I'd rather see that in the theater than seeing another fucking Marvel movie. Oh, my God. No shade on Craven. No shade on Craven. Late Night with the Devil, number 12. That great found footage movie I just talked about. Number 11 was Conclave. Man, I wish Conclave would have gone higher, but like the top 10 is like top tier for me. So number 10 is Furiosa. Furiosa! Oh man, that's a movie I've been really wanting to rewatch, but I know like I gotta be prepared. It's like I gotta have a snack, I gotta have a 2 liter of pop. I can't go anywhere. I gotta lock in when I watch Furiosa again. Because that one is so good. I love Furiosa. Excuse me. Number 9, we have The Substance. Remember, you are one. I don't know if I ever told the story, the backstory of The Substance, but like it all happened by accident. So we planned to see movies, and we had like a list of movies that we're going to see. So that morning, I don't even know. Hang on. Let's go back a little further. So at my theater, when they release lower budget horror movies, that first weekend, they usually have a good amount of showtime. So it's like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, one of the two, either 11 or 12, 3 o'clock, 5, 7, and 9. Usually, that's the first weekend for small budget horror movies. There's good show times. And then that second weekend, it's usually like a 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and that's it. So that's the preface. So there's that. Because that's a lot of times, that's why I miss some horror movies. That's why I didn't see A Violent Nature, because like that whole week was booked with like other movies. So by the time I was able to see it in A Violent Nature, it had like 2 showtimes. It would have like 7 or 9 p.m. And it's like, I can't do that. I don't want to be out late at night. So with that preface, that prologue, me and my mom plan to see movies, right? And we have a whole list, and we usually send the list out to my sister if she wants to join us. And that morning, last fucking minute, or the night before, one of the two, either night before or that morning, sister's like, oh, I thought you guys were going to see Transformers. So me and my mom were like, oh, fuck, we got to go see Transformers. Because like we were changing our mind on Transformers. We're like, we bought the tickets for points, because that's what we do. Sometimes we buy movie tickets for points. And then we're fine with not seeing the movie because we got the points. Because some movies, I don't know if you know this, the Regal usually gives out tons of points. Like if you buy Horizon tickets this weekend, you'll get like 1,000 points. Just an example. So me and my mom were like, oh, fuck, we got to go see Transformers. So we go out there, go see Transformers. And we go all the way out there. And it's like 5 minutes before showtime, and we're hearing nothing from sister. And we keep checking the theater, and she hasn't bought seats yet. And my mom's like, all right, you just want to go home, or you want to do something else? We don't have to see Transformers. And I'm like, this is serendipity, mother. This is the weekend where The Substance comes out, and I want to see The Substance. And it's by a miracle that they start at the same time, Transformers and The Substance. How about you go see Transformers? I'll go see The Substance. I'm not going to waste my day on this. We're going to do this. This never happens. And I never have an opportunity to go see my lower budget weirdo horror movies. So I go see The Substance. Wow. Substance is fantastic. It's great. For those who don't know, I'm sure there's many people who don't know, it's about this washed up actress named Elizabeth Sparkle. And she's finally, I think that they always say that in the movie. Oh, you turned 50. You're 50 years old. Hey. So she's aged out. They want her gone. She's out. Boom. Get out of here. You're done. So she has no job. No one wants to hire her because she's old. And then she gets this mysterious package, The Substance. And it's like, do you want to sign up for this? You are eligible for this. It's a new program. It's a new thing where you are want to feel younger again. Try this substance. So she calls him and says, yes, I want to try the substance. I'll try it. And it's like this underground illegal drug that's being sold. And apparently, allegedly, because from the movie, there's a ton of lockers and there's only 2 ones with numbers on them. So this is like a trial run to sell it on the black market kind of drug. So she tries this drug, and it's got very specific instructions. It's like, do this, do that, do this, and don't ever do these things again because it's a one-time only thing. And then when you get to the next thing, just do this every couple weeks or every 7 days. So she's like, all right, what does that mean? Fucking weirdo, crazy shit. She takes the substance, splits into another person, a younger version of herself. So there's Sue and there's Elizabeth, and every 7 days they got to switch. And if they don't switch every 7 days, things get fucked up. Oh my gosh. So I think I'll leave it at that. So if you haven't seen The Substance, I think that's it. That's it. Watch the movie because it's fucking awesome. And funny story. So my mom was like, okay, when Transformers 1 ends, I'll go sneak in there and watch The Substance with you. So my mom came in at the craziest fucking third act in the history of mankind. And I love her review. Her review should be like on the movie posters. I don't know what the hell I seen, but I shouldn't have seen it, and it should not be in theaters. But it's great, and I love that it's been getting all these awards, like Margot Qualley. He's been getting all these awards and nominations, and the same thing with like Demi Moore. It's a really good horror movie, because it definitely is a horror movie for sure. Oh my god, and there's so many memes that you can get from this movie. It's fantastic. 10 stars. 10 stars and a heart. Let's see. Besky! There's Besky! Besky, you freaking streamed this morning and you didn't text me. My god. Or was it last night? I forget which. But either way, you didn't text me. I need to know about Jake and Manfred and King. You need to tell me about them. The stars aligned that day. Let's see. I don't think I saw any movies in 2024. Well, new ones. Yeah, Becky, you're okay. You're cool in my book. Oh, it's so funny. So the other day, me and Becky were talking, and something came up. I think she was streaming, and she was like, hey, have you guys ever had an argument that just stuck with you, or like a stupid argument? And I told her mine. And she's like, but what about our arguments about movies? And I'm like, Becky, you can like any movie you want. It won't bother me. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'll get upset with Luke because like sometimes Luke will be like crazy. He'll be like, fucking Dead Reckoning is like a 2-star movie. And I'm like, fuck you. Dead Reckoning rules. But anyway, with Becky, I'm like, I'm okay. If Becky doesn't like a movie, I'm okay with that. If Becky likes a movie, I'm okay with that. Because she'll watch any movie. She's willing to give any movie a chance that's not Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I was streaming so late. I'll be streaming this evening, but probably too late for you. Shit, that's right. Today's Sunday. Fuck. I'll probably be up to 1 in the morning anyway. Don't matter. Oh, that Luke guy. I know. So anyway, we're okay. Where were we? Besky, if I don't respond to your comment right away, it's because I'm going on another. Oh, hang on. I can probably stay here. I can see the screen. So I'll stay on this page. So I can see your comments. I'll see your comments. Okay, so number 8. I believe I talked about this already on several other streams. So I don't really want to get too much into it. But Smile 2, fantastic. It was great. Hang on. Besky said something. Besky says, I will give you a text when I start streaming then. I know. I should have texted you, so I feel bad. It works both ways. So if I start streaming, I got to text you. So, okay. Okay, Besky. So number 8, Smile 2. Fantastic. Great movie. Again, like I said, I talked about it tons of times in other streams. I think it perfectly captures mental illness and depression. It fucking like captures it perfectly. Like too perfect. And it's so funny that like I watched the Red Letter Media review where Mike finally watched it so Jay and Mike could finally talk about it. Jay liked it until he got to the third act. And Mike did not like it so much that he turned it off. But the only reason why I think he turned it off is because I think he was so excited to see Kyle Gallner in the beginning. And then when Kyle Gallner dies, he's probably like, fuck this movie. Because they love Kyle Gallner. So they really love Kyle Gallner. I know they say they're like, we're not stans of Kyle Gallner. They're stans of Kyle Gallner. So when I could see Mike being really upset after that first 10 minutes. But anyway, Smile 2, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think it's awesome. I think it's well done. And I have, like, if they do a third Smile, it's got to be like fucking science fiction levels of craziness. Like, it needs to be like a global phenomenon of this fucking Smile monster, and that they got to go into like a third dimension to kill this fucking thing. It's got to go crazy. Like, it's got to go nuts. Like, you don't end Smile 2 like that and not go crazy science fiction shit in the third one. It's crazy. So go see Smile 2. Fantastic. Again, I've talked about this. Like more than enough. Like more than enough. I'm moving on. Number 7. Again, I did a previous live stream where I talked about the whole movie in length. I think I explained the whole plot detail about Javi. Javi, what are you doing with the phone? Put down the phone, Javi. So Javi and Glenn Powell and, oh my God, Daisy. I forgot her character name again, but Daisy Jones. She's so adorable, and I love her. And it's so funny, like on the different rewatches, I'm okay with the kiss, and I'm not okay with the kiss. It's funny. It gets me. Twisters is awesome. I loved it. One of the best 4K experiences I've ever. Oh, what was it called? 4DX. The 4DX scene with the lights gone and the water spraying. Awesome. Loved it. Number 6. I don't know if I talked about Horizon on here. I don't think so. I really don't think I talked about Horizon. I haven't rewatched it again, but Horizon was fucking fantastic. Again, this is like the opposite end of Terrifier. So like Terrifier is like a passion project made by a guy and it made a ton of money. Horizon is a passion project made by a guy and it made no money. But Horizon was so fucking cool. That one I didn't care was 3 hours. That one, like, I remember I had to go to the bathroom, but I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'll come right back because I know I'm going to watch it again at some point. But Horizon fucking rules. I have the collector edition Steelbook 4K with the awesome cover. There's so many great performances in Horizon. I love the whole scene when they're walking up the hill and guns are going to be drawn at some point, but the tension's building as they're going up this hill, and it's so good. Yeah, it's a fan. See, Captain Iron Dog says, I think you only talked a little bit about Horizon, but yeah, I loved Horizon. Captain Iron Dog, I got the 4K Steelbook too, dude. Yeah, awesome. Like honestly, like Horizon was fantastic, and I want to know what's going to happen with Part 2. Like you can't leave me hanging, and I love that ending. It was like the Back to the Future Part 2 where they give you a trailer for what's going to happen next, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm there, I'm so there. But like I love the movie. It gives you enough to care about everyone. Jake Sully was great in it. That Sierra Miller, I think her name, she's great in it. Michael Rooker. Oh yeah, Michael Rooker, my best buddy, Michael Rooker. Oops, Michael Rooker. Oh my God, I think I told that story. I'll tell it later, but we'll put a pin in it. I want to tell my Michael Rooker story. I don't know if I talked about it yet. I probably did, but anyway, moving on. Horizon. Fucking awesome. It's great. It's a Western. I love all the plot lines. I love the Luke Wilson character. He was great. Yeah, it was good. It's a good movie. I need to rewatch it. It's been a while. I haven't seen it since the theater. I do have the 4K. That's the one I got to make a day for. That's another one where it's like I need to sit down. I need to get a pizza, 2-liter. Lock in. Same thing with like Furiosa. I think both of them are like 3 hours. So it's like those days I got to lock in, sit down, turn off the phone, uninstall Twitter, which I've already done. I've uninstalled Twitter. I've only been using my browser because I'm trying to cut it off so I can watch more movies. But Horizon is fantastic. It was great. Go check it out. Number 5, Hitman. I just talked about it. It was good. Go check it out. Number 4 was Saturday Night. Again, I think I talked about this in length already. It still stands because I liked it so much, I bought the digital copy. That's how crazy I am. So I saw it in the theater, and then like a week or two later, or whenever it came on digital, I instantly bought the digital copy because I could not wait for the Blu-ray. Because I think the Blu-ray is finally coming out like at the end of the month or some shit. Maybe it's coming out soon. I don't know. But either way, I could not wait the 2 months for the Blu-ray. I wanted to watch it again. Saturday Night's really good. And again, I think my only criticism on the movie was like it's like I know in the back of my head that it's probably not all true. And I definitely know the ice skating rink, the scene that I really love, and it hits my heartstrings, like pulls my heartstrings. I know that's not true. So I feel manipulated, or it doesn't feel honest. But either way, it's a good movie. It's well done. The performances are great. The guy who plays Lorne Michaels, I forgot his name at this point. It's like a weird... Oh, Gabrielle. Gabrielle does a great performance as Lorne Michaels. Corey Michael, whatever the guy is. The guy who plays Chevy Chase. Oh my God. Like, I wish he could play Chevy Chase in other movies because he's so good. And I want to talk about my theory. I have a crazy theory about Saturday Night. So if you watch it behind the scenes, I think it was like an Instagram reel or some shit, where the Chevy Chase actor talks about how there's a scene in the movie where he had to do multiple takes where he's doing a pratfall and knocking over a garbage can. And if you watch the Instagram reel, no one's walking in front of him. So when he knocks over the garbage can, you see the full thing of him knocking over the garbage can. But in the movie, there's a woman who walks in front of the camera as he's knocking over the garbage can. And my theory is that they did not feel that he looked convincing enough knocking over the garbage can. So they put in a digital woman walking in front of him, knocking over the garbage can to hide the bad, pratfall. Because honestly, how do you knock over and make it look natural? I totally understand, because from the angle and whatever, I totally get that. But like, it's so weird because if you watch all those alternate takes of him knocking over the garbage can, no one's walking in front of it because he's knocking over a fucking garbage can. So no one's going to be walking through there. But in the final film, there's a woman that walks by, and I'm like 90% sure that she's like in a digital after effect. Like, they went back afterwards, they filmed the woman on green screen walking past at the same angle, same frame, and they just digitally composited her into the frame. It's fucking weird. So, but like, if you watch the trailer, you'll see it. You'll see the shot I'm talking about. It's like, hey, I tripped over my own dick. He's doing that joke, but like, he trips on the garbage pail and there's a woman that walks by. She's composited in. I'm like 90% sure she's composited in, because in that, that little Instagram reel where he's talking about it, they showed I think they showed they showed multiple. It's definitely more than 3 takes that they showed, and no one's walking by. So I think it's fucking weird that little digital effects are like that in movies. It almost reminded me of the crazy John Wick shit, where they were, that scene in Paris where they're going around the roundabout. Like, none of that was fucking real. Like, that was like all in a parking lot or some shit. And like, there was like only like 1 or 2 cars going around it, and like, it's all matted pads. But when you watch the final film, you can't tell, because like all the cars look like fucking real. So it's just weird. It's so real. It's so weird that what VFX can do these days. And I'm convinced with Saturday Night. But other than that, Saturday Night gets 5 stars, a heart, and a DVD purchase, and a recommend. Again, I've already talked about Wallace and Gromit, and Wallace and Gromit is my number 3. And go to number 2. Number 2, I'm pretty sure I talked about this at length. I love Alien Romulus. When I got the Blu-ray, it instantly went into the player. I still love it. And I think I came to the theory that I like Alien movies, but I like Alien movies when they're full on theme park ride. Because I love Alien Resurrection, and I know a lot of people don't like Alien Resurrection, but I love that. And Romulus is sort of like, here's the thing I like about Romulus. It is like literally all the fucking Alien movies in one. And the thing that I appreciate about that is that means everything is fucking canon. Everything fucking matters. And that's what makes me happy. And I'm surprised everyone's like really upset. Like, oh my God, they included the Prometheus goo. They brought back Ash. They did this. They did that. It's like, what I don't understand is, like, to me, it just makes all the other fucking movies mean more. I don't know. That's what I think. It's sort of on the same level as the stupid references in other movies. Like, oh, they brought up that reference, or they do that reference. But to me, I don't know why. It felt like it meant more with Alien Romulus. And again, like, I think Alien Romulus made me realize I was an Alien fan, because I was like, oh shit, I own all the movies. I have a fucking Sigourney Weaver. I have an Ash. I have all the 3-inch reaction figures. It's like, I'm an Alien fan. And to me, like, it was like a celebration of the Alien franchise. Like, you have everything that you could ever want in this fucking movie. And it makes me happy. Everything about Alien Romulus makes me happy, because the whole intro is perfect. It felt like a great science fiction movie. It's wonderful. And when it gets to the thing, it brings like the ideas that he had in smaller movies into a bigger movie. It's about teenagers trying to rob a place, and then they are hunted by a killer. It's so good. But I know people don't like it, and I kind of understand what they're coming from, because I guess to them, Alien Romulus is their Jurassic World Dominion, where it's like ass. Which I understand, because I don't like Dominion, and maybe people don't like Romulus the same way. But I like Romulus. I like that they brought back the Black Goo. I like the performance from Andy, which I'm sure will be forgotten about. He's like the best android acting I've ever seen in a fucking movie ever. I love Rain. I love the characters. I even like the assholes because like they're perfect assholes to be killed by the alien. I love that Ash came back. It would have been cool if it was like Michael Fassbender though. That would have been kind of cool. But he's like at this point he would be like 100-year-old model. So that doesn't quite 100 make it doesn't 100% make sense, but it makes sense that Ash is the model. I don't know. It makes sense to me. But either way, Alien Romulus, fucking awesome. It's like Captain Iron Duck said it himself. He's got the 4K and he's like it's like the perfect mixture. It's the perfect mixture. It's like he nailed it. He fucking nailed it. It's like he got everything from the fucking franchise and he put it in the movie and it's all there. Like if you were going on a vacation, instead of packing the whole Alien box set, you could just throw in Alien Romulus and you got everything. It's everything is there. It's so cool. Like honestly, like Alien Romulus, it probably would be my number one if it wasn't for Longlegs, because Longlegs, we're going to transition to Longlegs now, but like Longlegs is like the fucking perfect movie for me. It is, like I said with Alien Romulus, Longlegs is like that too, where it's like a combination of all my favorite things because I love Coen Brother movies, I love Silence of the Lambs, I love that actress, Nicolas Cage is crazy, and I love the Osgood movies. I liked Gretzel and Hansel. I love we call it The Black Coat's Daughter and Longlegs. He's like getting better with each movie. So I'm a little worried about we call it the monkey, because like to me I'm like, oh my god, he just made Longlegs, which is like my favoriteest movie ever. Like if I could redo my 101 movie list, I'm sure Longlegs would be on there. Hell, let me in now, and it could be nice. Let me in now, or I'll have to come back. Not once, not twice, but as many times as I like. So good, so good. I fucking love Longlegs, and again, I've talked about Longlegs at length. I think in the other video, I do recaps of all these fucking movies. But Longlegs is so great. And again, with Romulus, like those two, like, man, Romulus would probably be number one if it wasn't for Longlegs. Like, honestly, like Longlegs, I can't talk enough about Longlegs. Oh my gosh. Oh, before I forget, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, that's right. I didn't do the Happy New Year celebration. God damn it. Hang on, podcast. Let me get the New Year shit. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I bought it for the New Year's stream, but I never ended up doing the New Year's stream just because, there's that. And then I got Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. So that's the top 20 favorite movies. They were really awesome. I don't get, like, that's another thing I see on Twitter a lot, where people are complaining about like 2024 sucked with movies. I'm like, what the fuck did you see? Just Deadpool and Wolverine when you're 12 years old? Because like this was an awesome year. Like all the my top 20. Let me scroll through them just again. Like this top 20 is fucking awesome. Like these are all great movies. These are all great movies, and they're all fucking different. Like literally every one of these are different. Like you got the silly Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie. You got Josh Hartnett, goofing it up in Trap. You got Oddity and Nice Ghost Story. You got fucking Sonic 3, Conclave, Terrifier. These are all fucking different. These are all like literally like fucking crazy. I don't even think there's many things that are like similar in any of these. They're all fucking nuts. But yeah, this is great. This is great. This is a great year. And just to name them off, I'm not gonna review all these. 21 was the re-release of Phantom Menace. 22, Maxine. 23, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. 24, Bad Boys, Ride or Die. 25, Civil War. 26, One More Shot. 27, Rebel Ridge. 28, Fall Guy. 29, Drive Away Dolls. 30, Carry On. 31, Nosferatu. 32, Garfield movie. 33, Wild Robot. 34, Strangers. 35, Lisa Frankenstein. 36, First Omen. 37, Immaculate. 38, Beekeeper. Now, this is the point. From down here is just like mid movies. These are all probably like 3-star movies or whatever. So we have Cuckoo, which was okay. Craven, I liked it. It had Billy from Jurassic Park 3. We have Werewolves, Ghostbusters, King Kong, Joker 2, Land of Bad. I feel bad for Land of Bad. Land of Bad should be a little bit higher. Land of Bad was good. Deadpool, Wolverine, Argyle, Love Lies Bleeding, Abigail, Venom. 51 is Ordinary Angels, Wicked Little Letters, Gladiator 2, One Life, Arthur the King, Monkey Man, and the last. Was it The Exorcism? Not Last Exorcism. The Exorcism. Uh, Out of all these movies, I think the only ones I really, really don't like were Monkey Man and The Exorcism. Like Monkey Man was way too long for what it was, and he was literally a loser. Oh my god! And then The Exorcism. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think COVID must have hit the production real bad because that ending was not an ending. That whole third act sucked. That was not a real movie. At the end of that movie, that was not. It cracks me up too because like when people are like, "My worst of movie was Deadpool, Wolverine, and Joker." It's like, did you see the Exorcism with Russell Crowe? I love Russell Crowe, but that movie did not have a third act. That movie did not have a third act, and like the last 10 minutes were all filmed like on one fucking camera on an empty beach during COVID. What the fuck? But yeah, it just cracks me up when people were like, "Oh, my worst movie was Coco," or whatever. Fuck off. There's like worse movies out there, and yeah. But yeah, it was a good year. It was a good year, and these are all like mid, entertaining. And then these last two were awful, but like these were all good. One Life was good, but I feel bad for One Life. Like it was a good movie, but the reason why it's on the bottom is like I'd rather watch any of these over One Life. You know what I mean? Oh, I think that's the other thing too. Is like I'd rather watch Land of Bad over Deadpool. I'd rather watch Joker 2 over Land of Bad. So that's like that. That's how I'm doing it. So it's like I'd rather watch Wild Robot over these. I don't know about that. I think Wild Robot I put there just because it's a good movie, but I have no reason to watch it again. I should put that lower. That should be down here with One Life. Because One Life's good, but I'd never watch it again. Yeah. Nosferatu. Nosferatu was good. I like Nosferatu. Nosferatu. I'm also saying hi from here. Basky. I am hurt. Love Lies Bleeding placement, but I understand. Oh yeah. Like here's the thing. Like Love Lies Bleeding is a good movie, but like, dude, I'd rather watch Argyle over Love Lies Bleeding. I'd rather watch Ghostbusters with a lesbian ghost story over Love Lies Bleeding. I'd rather watch any of these. Like, dude, I bought First Omen. I really need to rewatch it again because I fucking love that movie. Like, I like the creepy opening, and like I remember me and my mom being so creeped out by when the girl is like she's in the street and she's like convulsing. It's like that's the craziest, most insane thing ever. Immaculate made me even more of a fan of like Sydney Sweeney. Nosferatu, like all these movies like I've talked about with like a fucking passion, and I don't really have that same passion for Love Lies Bleeding. But I understand people love Lies Bleeding. Same thing with Abigail. People really love fucking Abigail, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. There's so many other movies this year that were so much better and that I love, but like I get the love for that. And I feel bad for Lisa Frankenstein because Lisa Frankenstein was like number one for the longest time, but then it just got knocked the fuck out. Look at these guys. Like you got fucking Costner and Demi Moore and Chris Hemsworth and Nicholas Hoult. You can't beat that. Fucking what's his name? Kyle Gallner. You got Kyle Gallner here. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for Love Lies, I think I overhyped it for myself. And then that crazy ass ending. I don't know. And then, no. I have my issues with Love Lies Bleeding because I did think it was stupid that they hid a body behind a couch and the couch is like sitting 3 feet from the wall. Madam Web. I still haven't seen Madam Web. I'm sure it's bad though. I'm sure it's bad. Keanu Reeves a Shadow. Oh yeah, as you're saying things that are good. Yeah. Keanu Reeves a Shadow trumps fucking Love Lies Bleeding with his Akira slide. Oh my god, guys. I should mention this. So I'm going to be doing a birthday stream, and I bought this Sonic Shadow. It was Shadow with his motorcycle, and I was at Walmart, and it was in that aisle where it shouldn't have been because it's like all these little baby toys and like the Walmart generic brand, and all of a sudden there was fucking Shadow with his bike. And I'm like, oh my god, the Akira slide Shadow. don't fucking follow me. I know he doesn't swear, but he might as well have said that. So there's a scene in Sonic 3 where like he's on his motorcycle and like they've all been beaten up and he's like he swings his gun, he's like, don't fucking follow me. It's like so good. And I'm like, Shadow was awesome. So when I saw this toy, I'm like, I gotta get this Shadow bike. I gotta get this toy. So I was planning to open it for my birthday live stream. But I looked it up online. And I found out, like, if you go to Walmart.com, they're charging like $40 for it. And then I went to eBay, they're charging $60 for it. I was like, holy shit, I better not open it. I better not open it. Because, like, what if I need a rainy day and I need to sell the Shadow? Because, like, holy fuck, he's like a collector item. Oh, that's sad. My battery doesn't last 3 hours anymore. It only lasts 2 hours and 20. Ah, Lord. Lord Almighty. I don't know if you guys can still see me. Can you hear me? Speak up if you guys can hear me. Can you still hear me? Because on my end, the whole thing just froze and did all this. Can you guys still hear me? Captain Nine Dog, can you hear me? Captain Nine Dog, can you hear me? Captain Nine Dog, can you hear me? Alrighty then. But yeah. Love Flies Bleeding does not beat any of my top 20. Oh, Lord. But neither does, like, what do you call it? Neither does Deadpool Wolverine. And people love that fucking movie, which I don't understand why. I saw this funny... Okay, guys, oh my God. I saw this funny Shane Gillis clip. I kind of like Shane Gillis. I like Shane Gillis. I think he's funny. He's got, like, that dude bro kind of humor. And it's funny to me. Is that battery dead, too? I'm trying to switch batteries here on my end, so give me a second. Yes. Okay, good. But like Shane Gillis was on this podcast and he was talking to these guys and the guys were like, I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is funny, man. He's like the funniest guy out there. Or he's like my favorite funny actor. And Shane Gillis is like smiling at them through like gritted teeth, like, yeah, he's your favorite. He's your favorite, huh? And they're like, yeah, he's my favorite. And he's like, I don't want to. They're like, wait, you don't like Ryan Reynolds? You don't like Ryan Reynolds, Shane? And he says, I don't want to be mean, guys. I'm on your show and I don't want to be mean. And he's like, what? You don't like Ryan Reynolds? And he says, I'm not going to say Ryan Reynolds is funny or he's my favorite. What are you, fucking 12 years old? All I do is I'm a full-grown adult watching Deadpool and Wolverine. And Ryan Reynolds is my favorite. I was like, holy shit, that made me laugh so hard. Because they asked for it. He was trying to be polite with them. He was really trying to be polite by not saying that he did not like Ryan Reynolds. Because the guys did sound like 12-year-olds. They're like, Ryan Reynolds is my favorite comedy actor. It's like, oh my God, guys, stop. You're grown men. Oh my God. How is this? I got crooked eye. I think I got crooked eye here. But anyway, with that being said, we went through the whole list. Is there any other questions? Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's the... Hang on. Before we wrap up the show, let's see what's the top 2024 movies coming out this year. Top... No, 25. Yeah, top 2025 movies. Movies. Does it have a list? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, Superman. Definitely got to see Superman. Oh, yeah, guys, I'm in Superman mode after seeing the trailer and seeing Nicholas Hoult do, like, his little twitch. So, like, everything with Nicholas Hoult in the trailer made me happy and excited. I'm like, oh, my God, we're getting, like, businessman Lex Luthor in a big motion picture, and the movie only takes place between, like, a couple of days. I'm like, oh, shit, this isn't, like, an epic. Like, all the Superman movies have been epics. It's like, oh, it's been over years, or... You see him from childhood to an adult. It's like, no, the Superman movie is going to take place within a couple of days. And we got Nicholas Hoult as Superman. He's like, well, not Superman, but Lex Luthor. He's like, with his gun is so good. And they got that weird lens or whatever. So I'm excited about Superman. 28 years later, I got to get locked in for that. I got to rewatch the first one and catch up with the second one. Jurassic World, I'm there, baby. I'm there. I don't care how bad it is. I'm there for Jurassic World. I'm there. Number 4, Happy Gilmore 2. I might get Netflix for that. I might. Electric State. Ooh, that sounds familiar. No, that's the stupid Netflix movie, right? With Chris Pratt. Oh my God, Karate Kid. Nope, no interest. Death of a Unicorn. Oh, I'm already annoyed of Death by a Unicorn or Death of a Unicorn. When that trailer came out, I was like, oh, it's that kind of movie. And then when I saw the response by like, oh my God, Death of Unicorn is my movie, I'm like, oh God. So Death of a Unicorn is going to be the Abigail and Lisa Frankenstein of 2025. And I'm already sick of it. The movie's not even out yet, but people are going to defend that movie to death, and the movie's going to be so mid. How to Train Your Dragon. I'm not going to see it, but I understand why it exists. It's there to advertise the brand new Universal Studios theme park. It's not for you. It's for the kids and to advertise. Number 9, Captain America: Brave New World. I'm not sure, but I'm sure my mom will be like, got nothing else to do this weekend. Let's go see Captain America. And I'll be like, all right. But I'm not sure. Snow White. No, if I didn't see Mufasa, I don't think I'll be seeing Snow White. Although I know my constituents out there who, support this channel and watch Chief Brody Rules to be like, but Frank, you made YouTube poop of Snow White. So I might have to see it. Because my constituents out there, the Jacob Dreamworks out there and the other fans out there. Because he made me watch Little Mermaid, which I made was pretty good. Little Mermaid was pretty good. So maybe I'll give Snow White a chance. I don't know. At this point, Wicked. I didn't even see the first Wicked. Oh my gosh. I saw, here's the thing. I saw the first Wicked, but I have no recollection of it. Oh, I should say I saw the stage play of Wicked, but I have no recollection of it. Number 12, Wolfman. Yep, I'm going to be seeing Wolfman. Fantastic Four. I don't know. I have to see the trailer. Den of Thieves. Oh my God. He's back. Leonidas is back. Yes. I'll probably see Den of Thieves. Why not? Why is Mission Impossible number 15? That should be like number 6. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Peter Pan's Final Nightmare. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Lilo and Stitch. Nope. Thunderbolts. Yeah, maybe. Flight Risk. Yes. I want to see Flight Risk, and I see that number. I see it's a perfect 1 hour and 30 minutes. I want to see Flight Risk in and out of that theater, baby. Black Bag. Never heard of it. Ooh, what's Black Bag? Ballerina. Oh, yeah, I'm there. I'm going to see Ballerina. Everyone always hypes up Anna de Armas or whatever her name is. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. Anna de Armas. Oh my God. I'm just like, I've only seen Knives Out. And that's like the only movie she's ever been in. And like, no one liked Monroe and nobody liked the other movies. Why the fuck does everyone like her? I don't know. So I'm going to give Ballerina a shot. Minecraft movie. Nope. Sinners. Yes, I want to see that. That's the vampire movie. I want to see the vampire movie. The Gorge. Oh my God. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Marty Supreme. Never heard of it. Michael. Ooh, nope. Not going to see that. If I didn't see the Bob Marley movie, I'm not going to see Michael. And if I didn't see the Bob Dylan movie, I'm probably not going to see Michael. Warfare. Ooh. Oh, wait. Was Warfare the one made by that one guy? Nah. Frankenstein Netflix movie. Ooh, is Avatar coming out this year? Hells yeah. Avatar. I'll go see that. Avatar 3, I believe this would be. Bridget Jones. Nope. Housemaid. Nope. The Monkey. Hells yes. I'm there. Paul Thomas Anderson. I think that's been moved to 2026, so that doesn't really count. Mickey 17. Holy shit, 2 hours and 19 minutes. I'm there, but 2 hours and 19 minutes? Oh my God. I think I said 17 because it's Mickey 17. But 2 hours and 19 minutes for Mickey 17. Holy fuck. And they keep moving it. I was so excited to see that in January. Now it's coming out like April or March or some shit. They keep moving it. That's why I don't care about movie dates or seeing when they're coming out, because they'll switch it up. Wake Up Dead Man. No idea. Oh, is that that's the Netflix one. Okay. Dogman. Nope. Tron. Ooh, Tron comes out this year, huh? It'll flop. Mortal Kombat 2. Dude, Mortal Kombat 1 was fucking awesome. About time they came out with a sequel. I think Mortal Kombat was the one where me and my mom watched it on HBO Max. Fucking ruled. Or at least I remember it being awesome. Maybe it sucks, but I remember having a good time with it. Novocaine. I want to see Novocaine. Novocaine's the one with Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid. Last Breath. Oh, that's the Woody Harrelson movie. No, thank you. It looks like Woody Harrelson filmed all his stuff in one day. I was like, all right, I'm out. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Is that for real? Is that for real? Are they really working on that? Because I'll go see that. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's a legacy sequel. Henry Danger, One of Them Boys, Companion, Cleaner. Oh, Cleaner, the Daisy Ridley movie. Lol. Um, F1, still haven't seen the trailer for that. Final Destination Bloodlines. Well, that's going to be sad. There's no Tony Todd for Final Destination Bloodlines. Dude, that sucks. Oh, man. Unbreakable Boy, Freakier Friday. Oh, yeah, I'm there for Freakier Friday. You know me. Return to Silent Hill. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let's see. Captain Iron Duck says, the year Superman, baby. Oh, yeah, Superman is going to be fucking huge. But, like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I definitely know Jurassic World is going to be fucking huge. I think Jurassic World is going to be bigger than we all anticipate it's going to be. Because it's got Scarlett Johansson and dinosaurs. I think it's going to be a lot bigger than we anticipate. Because like she has like sleeper hits. Like I think that Lucy movie she did was like a sleeper hit, and then that on top of dinosaurs, fuck, she's gonna like it's gonna be huge. Superman is probably gonna be close second to Jurassic World, and I don't know if Fantastic Four is gonna do it because I think people have been hyping up Fantastic Four, but I don't know if it's gonna reach the standards. But I don't know. Haven't seen the trailer. Can't believe someone put that toy down. What did they choose instead? I know someone made a decision. That's crazy with that Shadow action figure. Someone made a fucking decision and they made the wrong decision. Like I don't know what happened there. I don't know why they didn't pick up Shadow. They must have picked up a Sonic toy or something. But like, why? Why would you put down Shadow with his Akira motorcycle? Don't fucking follow me. Let's see. Got to rewatch the first and second one. Yes. For the 28. Yep. Thank you for clearing that up. I was like, I don't know what that means. For the 28 series. Yeah. And I'm shocked with this one. I think this one, 28 years later, is going to be a huge hit. Because I was a bit freaked out. I didn't know there was such a huge fan base for it. When they released that trailer, it was like the most watched trailer in the history of YouTube or some shit. It was insane. And then Superman beat it like a couple weeks later. But dude, like, I think 28 years later might be like a sleeper hit. It's going to be fucking insane. Jurassic World, I'm curious about. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be bigger than we anticipate. I think it'll do better than Dominion. You can quote me on that. I'm curious on Brave New World. Need to see the reshot. Oh, dude, that's fucking crazy. So I think we've talked about this multiple times, but Brave New World is the movie where they reshot it like 4 fucking times. So there's like at least four different versions. We're not even talking about like re-edits or assembly cuts. There's got to be at least 4 versions of this fucking movie that have been shot. They spent that much. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I really don't know. That's fucking crazy. I think you reminded me why I want to see Brave New World, because I want to see what a crazy reshot movie looks like. I want to see a mentally ill studio going back to refilm it like 5 different times in different ways and see if it even makes any sense. See if you could see like the cuts. Like you must be able to see the cuts. It must feel fucking fake. Oh my gosh. Wolfman, yes. Thunderbolts is day 1 for me. I need my Florence Wyatt Russell. Oh yeah, dude, Wyatt Russell. Yeah, I need to give Wyatt Russell that bump. I got to give him that bump. Wyatt Russell is really good. Sinners is going to be awesome. And Novocaine, yes. I'm watching it for Jack Quaid. Quaid's going to be in the movie. It'll be like my first actual Jack Quaid movie because I only know Jack Quaid from... No, wait. My second one, because I watched him in Oppenheimer, and that's a real movie. But I only know him from my Red Letter Media show. To see him in an actual movie as the lead is going to be fun. Jack Quaid. No, wait. It's my third one. I completely forgot he was in Scream. He's in the fucking Scream movie. Oh, my God. I forgot about Jack Quaid in Scream. Holy shit. And I know I keep saying it, but his name is Jack Quaid. But I just like saying Jack Quaid. That sounds funny. So anyway, we went through the whole year. I think, okay, let me try to do a ranking. I'll do my top 5. So I think my number 1 is going to be Superman. 2, Jurassic World. 3, let's be fair. What's my number 3? Probably Freakier Friday. No shit, it probably is Freakier Friday. 4, Monkey Man. Oh, the monkey. Because I'm scared for that. Because like, how do you top long legs? Oh my gosh. So what's my number 5? Oh, hang on. Let's swap them out. Okay, so number 3, Mission Impossible. Number 4, Freakier Friday. Number 5, The Monkey. Yeah, that's a good top 5. Yeah, that's my 5 anticipated. That's good. That's good. So Superman, Jurassic World, Mission Impossible, Freakier Friday. Because it's got both my girls in it. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her from Halloween. She's fine. She's okay. I don't care about her personal opinions about anything, but I like her work. I like her movies. Fuck it. And I'm a Lindsay Lohan fan. She's good. She's great. She's beautiful. Whoever she got to do her makeover is fucking insane. But I assume it's like Botox for her, like advertising, because you got to be on it and you got to advertise your movie. Because she looked her real age in the movie, I should say, because she did have some, like a natural wrinkles. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying she looked naturally old. But like when she's doing the advertising for the movie, holy fuck, she looks like she's 20 years old. So whatever they did to her for her promotion, her promotional circuit is fucking great. She looks like she's 20. It's fucking insane. But in the movie, she looks like, what she should be. I think she's probably about, if I'm like 30, I'm going to be 34. She's got to be like 36. I don't think she's that much older than me. Yeah, right? This is, before we start pointing fingers at Lindsay Lohan, let's see how old she is. Let's see how old you really are. She might be 40. We'll see. I thought she was not older than me. She was just a kid when she did that movie. 38. Oh my God, she's only 4 years older than me. Oh my God, I love her. Look at her. She's adorable. Oh yeah, you guys can't see my screen, but I'm looking right at her. She's got a perfect smile. She's great. She paid good money for that smile, damn it. All right. So with that being said, we're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. I think we could wrap it up. We went through the top 15 movies. We talked about all my recent watches. So again, highly recommend One More Shot if you haven't seen it. That's good. Highly recommend Strange Darling. Highly recommend Oddity and Conclave. Go watch those films. Those are really good. And you know what? Support juror number 2. Give Nicholas Hoult some love. Do 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 do. Give him some love and give him some loving. All right. So with that being said, see you for the birthday stream. Not sure when it's going to be. We'll keep an eye out for it. And also there's going to be a stream with me and Sarah. Okay, Sarah. Will be. Oh my God, Running Man's coming out 2025? Well, I'm there. Shit, that's my number 6 then. That's my number 6 for most anticipated. I only stop at 50. There's like a list of 50s that you want to click 50 more. I'm like, yeah, no, we're good. You gotta see what he's up to. Hey, Sarah. I think our show with Sarah is the 19th. Hang on, let me check my phone. It's in my phone. I'm so stupid. You check my freaking phone. Oh my God, it's the 19th. Yes, the 19th. So I got to either do my birthday show really on my birthday, which is a Tuesday, or maybe I don't know. It'll depend. My birthday show will depend on when I get my Grinch outfit. I legitimately bought the Grinch hat that says WSS Whoville, and then I bought the sweater and I bought the pants. So I want to wear that outfit when I open my birthday gifts. So I'll do that. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for the Sarah Miller show as well. It's a good month. And thank you for watching. And we're